Grim. What are we gonna do?
Grim. That's how it looks.
I'll take Grim right now.
I am the Grim Reaper.
It's Grim.
The bosses are good.
And make it grim.
A grim tale indeed.
It's a little grim.
Meaningless and grim.
It's the Grim.
It's Grim.
Pretty grim, huh?
Things look grim.
Hello all. We seem to be cursed. It's the only explanation I can come up with. Been trying to run Ryuutama since before Christmas, but then obviously Christmas and so on got in the way quite a bit. This is a kind of Miyazaki-esque, cozy-ish role-playing game in an anime style. Actually, just thought of someone else I can chase up to see if they want to play. So give me 1 second. I had forgotten to poke Neil. Never mind. All right. So, yeah, we seem to be cursed. So I did have 1.5 players for definite. That rose to 3.5 players for definite. Now it's all dropped back. One has disappeared into the ether. A couple of people are unwell. So we're going to try 1-on-1. But there's space if anyone wants to join us. We'll see how it goes. Maybe someone will turn up late. Time zones fuck everybody up. Yeah, so brief introduction. Ryuutama, natural fantasy role-playing. The idea is at some point in people's lives, and you play more sort of ordinary people, kind of, in this. At some point in people's lives, they go out and they journey around the world, and they have little adventures. And this is an important part of the culture in whatever world you happen to make up for this. So it's really about traveling and experiences and camping and getting out and seeing the world, kind of like a Rumspringa, if you know what that is. That's what the Amish community do, sort of some point before adulthood, full adulthood. They go out and experience the sinful world and then decide whether they want to join that or return home. So kind of, but less exacting, and you could do it young or you could do it old or whatever else. System wise, it's quite similar to the other anime style game whose name has popped completely out of my head. In that you combine 2 dice, roll, get over a target number to succeed. It's all pretty simple. You can very easily see the influence of JRPGs in a lot of this. Like in combat, you have a front rank and a rear rank, and that's about as Fabula Ultima. Thank you, Broken Witch. And that's about as complicated as it gets, really. Being a Japanese RPG, which it is, it's a translated one, it is a bit procedural, which seems to be a characteristic across lots of Japanese RPGs. So there might be a lot of sort of procedural dice rolling, but we'll do what we can to try and make it more interesting, and hopefully other people will show up. But let's introduce the player. Hello.
Hello.
Do you want to tell everyone who you're playing?
I am playing Kenji Ren, which means Strong Lotus, and he is an attack farmer. He has a Kaiken dog named Mana. Effectively, I come from the old Rice Hills, and it's time for my Rumspringa. We follow the Daikuten, one of the 7 lucky gods. And gonna go drink some wine and see what trouble we can cause.
So, you don't exactly have classes in this. You kind of do. So you could be, but they're not typical RPG classes. So you can be like a minstrel, a merchant, a hunter, a farmer, healer, artisan, noble, and then those are all modified by type. And the types are attack, technical, and magic. So you could be a magic farmer. So I don't know, the local hedge witch or whatever who helps make the crops grow and whatever else. Or you could be an attack farmer, so a stout yeoman who's always practicing the bow on the village green, you know, big burly guy getting into fights at the inn, you know, that sort of thing. Or a technical farmer, maybe you busy yourself with the windmill, or clearing the canal, or sorting out the irrigation, or whatever else. So I mean, those kind of respond to fighter, rogue, wizard, I suppose, but it's all quite a lot more low key than that. All right, let's find my notes. One last quick check to see if anyone else is joining us. This is how we're presenting a real RPG experience, because it's hard to get a group together, even online. Okay, just check. No, okay. Okay, your travels have brought you to a valley, a great cleft in the mountains. From your viewpoint at this end, you can see the valley stretching out far beyond you, the clouds turning to mist as they come down the mountains. It's early spring, so still a chill in the air, cold air coming down off the mountains. When the wind follows the valley, it seems a lot stronger, but most of the time it's skipping over the top of the mountains, so the air is fairly still. But sometimes snow that hasn't fallen recently gets blown down off the mountains and adds to the half melted slush down in the valley. You're on your way to another village at the far end of this long, great valley between the mountains, where they have a festival each spring. It's supposed to be that when the last snow falls, then the trees in the village, the ice blossom, the frost blossom, it all is supposed to bloom, and that heralds the beginning of spring proper and the last sort of banishing of winter. So let's call that Frost Vale down at the far end. At this end of the valley, there is a small village that does some trade and so on with the outside world, and that's where you are at the moment. Let's call it something generic like Hayton. So it's a village in the middle of sort of rolling grassland, nestled in the foothills down from the mountains. Mountains loom on either side. This village is all long, low, thatched cottages with turf piled up on the sides to keep them warm in the long winters. And this is where you've arrived. But Frostvale lies quite far to the west through this cleft in the mountains. So you might want to prepare a little more. So at the village square by the well, having arrived maybe half an hour ago and just quenched your thirst with some water here, peasants are hauling up buckets and setting out about their work. Others are working in the fields. A few men are working on some of the thatched roofs, repairing some of the winter damage. What do you want to do?
When we were talking about a village, like how small of a village? Under 100 people?
Probably more sizable than that, because there is a trade road which you were following that follows this end of the valley. So a couple of 200 to 300 people, maybe.
And does it? So I didn't see too much agricultural because it was like wild grasses. So, um, do they look like they're more like a hunter village?
Uh, so there's like small croft farms around the outside. The village square is bigger than you'd expect for a village of this size, so it looks like they probably hold markets here when trading caravans come through. And they're even here towards the center of the village. A lot of the buildings next to them have cover over them. And there's a lot of hay bales stacked up in those. That seems like a lot of their trade is fodder. Maybe culled some from the wild grasses around here, but they also seem to grow crops in their fields.
Okay. I'll like to stop somebody and be like, "Excuse me," and do a little bow. Is there a elder or a chief or a person in charge I could speak to?
You stop one of the girls that's fetching water on a yoke. She spills a little from a bucket and tucks
Oh,
at
I'm
you
sorry.
for a
Here,
moment.
let me. I'll take a cup or horn and fill the water that she spilled back up. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. She smiles to you. Elder, the headman, the hetman. Yeah, usually he's at the inn even this early. He's the village elder. I suppose he's who you'd want to talk to.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mana, come on, and we'll go head over to the inn.
All right. Dog scurries after you and then darts ahead and through the swinging doors of the inn inside and starts rushing about inside, sniffing at everybody, sniffing at everything, getting
Mana,
switches
heal.
behind the ears.
And I'll snap. I'll click and snap.
His ears go flat, his tail goes down, and he slinks back to you.
Sorry for the trouble, but I am looking for your elder. I'll announce it to the room.
The innkeep points at a corner table near the two largest windows in the inn.
Okay. And is there some type of like bar top or where you can order stuff?
Not a bar top exactly. There's just a few barrels with a broad plank of wood set on the top of it.
Okay. I'd like to find somebody to order whatever he's drinking as a gift.
Do you have any money?
I do. I have 306 G, which I don't know how much that equates to.
Let's have a look. General items.
If it's
alcohol.
gold, I'm a very, very wealthy farm boy.
Okay. It's 10G for a bottle of alcohol.
I hope this is going to be worth it. Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So that's equivalent of a reasonably sized bottle of sake or rice wine or plum wine or something like that. But yeah, it gets you out a clay bottle with a wax stopper over the top of it, takes your money, and slides that across. There you go. That's what he likes.
All right. So I grab it over and, excuse me, sir. My name is Kenji Ren. This is Mana. And I will hand him the wine. I am told that you enjoy this.
Thank you. I'm Kajo, hetman of the village. Sit down.
And I will join him. I would like to see if you have any work. I must prepare for a very arduous journey through the Frostvale.
What can you do? He says as he breaks the seal on the bottle.
Well, I mean, I come from humble beginnings. Rice paddies and wood, very handy. I can hunt a bit, and with Mana beside me, we could probably fetch or find anything you need. But my back is sturdy, and my character is strong.
Well, let me see. You come to us at a time when there isn't a huge amount to do. The planting is not backbreaking labor. There are repairs from the winter storms and so on. Can you handle a saw and a hammer?
Oh, I'm very crafty.
He sniffs the bottle with his big red nose and takes a big swig.
I have a side job for that. Woohoo!
All right. Well, there's some repairs going on at my home.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you some directions. Go to the north side of the square, over the little bridge. It's the large house on the left. You'll join the workmen there and see what work they can put you to.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
And in exchange, I will pay you.
I just want supplies. I will trade for supplies.
Supplies. Oh, what do you need?
Whatever you would think I would need for times 1.5 to go through the veil, just in case I get into trouble.
Off to the festival. Everyone should go at least once. I think it's a beautiful sight when the frost flowers are in bloom. Let's see.
I would say maybe a 1.5 journey. Would that be a rough estimate?
Well, if nothing goes horribly wrong, you should get there in just over a week. So
a month's worth of rations, because I can carry a lot of crap.
Well, for that then, help with my house for 3 days, and I will gather the supplies.
Thank you.
Simple fare is enough, I presume?
Yeah.
And do you have a pack animal at all?
Well, I mean, there's Mana, but I don't think he likes things on his back.
Well,
I'm the pack animal, though.
You start with 3 animals as a farmer, don't you?
Okay. Yeah, I can have a total of 3 animals without paying for food or water. Yeah. Okay. I thought I was pushing it when I asked for the dog. But you know what? I'll take a horse. I could be a rich farm boy with that 360 gold.
I think just like a couple of mules or something sounds about right.
Okay.
But, need names for them.
Oh, a couple of mules. Oh, there we go. Momo and Appa.
Okay. I was going to say emergency rations and emergency sleeping bag, but that's fine. Yeah, but you know how to graze them, so you don't need to buy extra food for them. You can keep them going for free. That is your fantastic farmer ability. All right, let's see how you do. 3 days working for the Hitman.
Okay.
Right, so let's see.
Yeah.
There may be a lot of book reference. So this is the first time playing this. So
it says strength plus dex -1. And I can spend half item cost on materials in 1 day per size for an item of my specification.
Is this your crafting capability? Something?
Yes. Spend 1/2 on item cost of materials in 1 day per size. Make an item from your specialization.
Okay. Which is, side job. Here we go.
Yeah, side job.
Choose a single skill from any other class that requires a skill check. So we're just going to say it's construction or something.
Okay.
Right. They're supplying the materials. So, and telling you what to do. So dex plus strength -1.
That is a total of 6 -1 is 5.
Okay. Skill check rules. Let's see what's up. So 6, yeah?
Yeah, 5 because I got to
5.
subtract the one. Yeah.
Okay. So difficulty 4 is easy, and with them telling you what to do, it's mostly just moving stuff from place to place and hammering in nails and that sort of thing. So that's going to be easy. But not great. You didn't do a fantastic job. A motivated child could almost have done better, but you're slightly better than that.
Okay.
And since it's mostly doing the drudge work that the actual craftsmen don't want to do, so a lot of lifting and carrying and so on, that's fine. Roll twice more, just don't botch.
Got it. Is there any way I could apply the wood cutting instead, or no?
No.
Got it. That is a 7.
Okay.
And that is a 4.
Okay. So not great, good, even worse than the first day, but it's all done. So at the end of your 3 days, you've been fed, watered, you're allowed to sleep in the stable, even though that's a bit cold. Yeah, you've paid your dues. Maybe you thought getting away from your home village would get you away from these chores, and that's why you kind of half-assed it a little bit. But even so, it seems grateful enough, and it seems to have sped up the repairs. There was a cracked roof beam that needed replacing, so that was a lot of carrying. Storm shutters that needed refixing, and a floor that needed leveling out, but you were just stuck lifting and carrying for the most part. But regardless, yeah, your mules are now laden down with 30 days worth of food and 30 days worth of water.
Okay.
Hi, Junkie. That's not me being insulting. That's his name. Okay, see?
All right. So we're gonna have somebody join or no?
I'm just checking because I just got a message. No.
Damn.
Excuses.
Is there any
You missed it, Junkie. They were all eaten by a dragon in the first 5 minutes and rage quit. No, people haven't shown up for one reason or another. All valid excuses, but still annoying. All right. Anyway, yes. What do you want to do next?
I was gonna, before I leave, I was gonna ask the elder if he had any like old clothes, anything like furs and warmth, because it's still kind of the end of winter and that slush spring period, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe some extra might help a little bit. This is going to be a purchase, not a.
Oh, purchase. Okay.
Not a work for, just what your used items is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So let's see. Traveling gear. Clothing separate. Weapons and armor, shields, traveling gear, general items, camping equipment, containers, kits, herbs. No. Okay, so the most they can offer you is a nice warm cape.
Okay,
made from the pelt of a thickly furred animal. Can be also used as bedding or a blanket. So it's used. So that's minus 20%. Okay, so that's 110 G.
Okay, that gives me a much better idea how much expensive things are here. Okay.
All right. So it's a slightly threadbare, used, big, heavy fur cloak. There you go, with ears.
Okay.
All right. So that should help keep you warm.
Yeah, I'm gonna thank the elder on the way out of the village, and ask him maybe when I come back, you guys might have some more work for me when I make the way home.
Well, depending how long you take, yes, we might need some help in the fields. That fur cape, gives you a +1 bonus during cold conditions, by the way.
Okay. And I have a hat that keeps me cool and dry. +1 versus hot.
Okay. So,
before I leave the village, I'm gonna stop. I'm assuming they have a shrine or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, there's a village
Okay.
shrine.
Okay.
Yeah, the statue on it has been worn smooth by people's hands pressing on it to pray at various times. So you can no longer make out what god or spirit it's meant to be, but they do have a shrine.
Okay, I'm just gonna be like, this is some holy place. Cool. I'm gonna leave an offering of a small clip of my hair, a small clip of Mana's hair, and a portion of a meal, and then like do my prayers to Daikuten, and then make the journey out.
Okay. 1 second.
I'm building some background, Grim. We got to build the background.
yeah. Well, say another peculiarity about the game is that the games master plays a character who is a dragon spirit who's kind of watching over the people on their journey, trying to encourage them to make good stories. And so it kind of formalizes the ways in which I can interfere sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad you picked up on that. That was the hey. He's a nice guy. He's doing good stuff.
Yeah, he's showing proper
Pigs.
respect for the gods.
Proper respects. Yes.
Okay.
So help me if you put me through the trials of Job. That would suck.
Okay. No special benedictions or anything, but as you go to leave the shrine, you notice that behind it is a little stone sort of vase or case with a bunch of walking sticks in it in varying conditions. One of them catches your eye. It's a knobbly walking staff of blackthorn with a green jade ball on the end.
Ooh. So what would be culture to take that? Like, would it be like leave something behind of?
Well, you have
Note or-
left an offering.
Oh, okay.
Presumably, these are left for people to pick up. Sometimes other shrines have things like umbrellas, so you take one if you need it, and then you leave it somewhere else. Is the sort of unspoken rule.
Okay, but I mean, blackthorn, probably highly prized wood, but jade's expensive, yeah.
yeah, jade's worth money. Yeah.
Oh. And you said it's a walking stick or is it a staff?
Walking stick.
Okay.
So hip high, not a wizard stuff. But it does have a knob on the end, made of jade.
Okay.
So
I will pick it up and
it's got it's got a good heft. So yeah it's almost like it was made for you.
Yeah. Swing it like an axe with a nub. Maybe we can use good sense. Couple of tryout. All right.
Okay, so travel is a somewhat formalized process. Done in travel days, I think. I just need to find journey checks. There we go. Page 100. Okay. As long as travelers are traveling in the wilderness, they have to make 3 journey checks each day in order. The difficulty of these checks will change depending on the current terrain and weather. Well, so which way do you want to head from the village? You know you have to head west, but there is latitude for going north and south along there. So do you want to head west, northwest, or southwest, or south or north? Or do you want to leave and bin the whole adventure?
How does the main trade road lead?
The main path winds mostly a lot through the grassland, so it heads directly west, almost straight.
And that would be the fastest route.
Yeah, and here near the village, it's a cobbled road.
And Kaijo told me about there's a festival, so I need to make up 3 days. So to move quickly, it would probably take the shortest path.
Yeah, so stick to the path. Okay, so
I would like to do this in, like, not full out run, but like small runs, like 2 hour fast paced, pause for a good break, another 2 hour fast paced, pause for a good break, and repeat it.
Yeah. So after your last day of rest in the village, you head off at speed, leading your 2 mules. First thing you need to do is roll strength plus spirit to determine your condition for the day.
Okay, strength plus spirit. Okay, that's D6. That's a 3.
Okay. Right. So, all right. Your condition is 3. You're feeling achy and painful from all of your work on the Hetman's house. So you're not able to put as much speed in as you would have preferred. Okay. All right. It's cloudy, but not actually raining, and you're making your way through grasslands. So now make a travel check. That's strength plus dex. Difficulty 6.
That's a 6.
Okay. Despite your aches and pains, you're able to travel all day without running into any particular problems or issues. You don't fall in any holes or twist your ankle on a tree root or anything, so you're all good there. The next test is for direction, to see if you find your way properly. So that's int plus int with a difficulty of 6.
Oh. Haha, 8.
Is that a crit?
Yeah, it was D4 and D4. 8. Yeah, it was a crit.
Okay, so you find your way regardless of the terrain difficulty. So
it's kind of messed up. I'm rolling shit on the big dice. I'm rolling great on some.
All right. And then, as the day draws to a close, you have to make a camping check.
Okay.
Do you have a tent?
Yes. No. I have a sleeping bag, wooden utensils, water skin, rations, and crafting supplies.
Okay.
And a large bag, very large bag. It can fit size 5, so I don't know if I can use that for a half shelter.
Well, as long as it's not raining, your heavy fur cape can protect you from the worst of the cold. So not having a tent's not going to be such a huge problem. Okay. Right. Roll Dex plus Int. Difficulty 6.
Dex and int. 4.
Okay. Well, you're not injured, and you haven't used any magic points, so you just have an uncomfortable, damp night camping out without it coming to any particular harm.
Threats.
Yeah. All right. So you build a tiny little fire, burning some bits of wood and dry grass you found that have blown down and then gotten stuck on the road, which is now more gravel than cobbles and is slowly turning muddy. Can you make an int plus spirit roll, please?
It's okay. 6.
Okay. So you're just cooking up some rice and digging through the other supplies, finding a jar of pickles that you can have with your rice. When you think just beyond the circle of firelight from your meager fire, you think you see something moving, silent and quiet, right at the edge of the flames, like a flitting shadow.
What's Mana doing?
What's his int and spirit?
Int is a D2, spirit's a D3.
Okay, so roll D4 and halve it, and a D6 and halve it, and add the two together, and tell me what you get.
Got it. All right, so that's a 2 on the D4 and a 4, which drops down to a 2 on the D6, so total 4.
Right, and we'll add 2 because he's a dog and they have keen senses, so that makes a total of 6. Yeah, he comes padding over to you and sits next to you and stares out into the darkness with his ears perked up, and twitching, trying to gather information.
And it's dark out. I don't think I can see that well. So
Yeah, the moon and stars are largely hidden by the clouds overhead. Every now and then a little gap opens up and you get a few little stars.
I'm gonna grab my axe and get low to the ground because it's easier to see up than it is to see down into darkness. And just stay silent and look at Mana giving the command to be on alert, ready to attack.
All right. He sidles over to the mules and sort of lays down behind them and stays staring out into the darkness. Those ears are now twitching in all directions. Slowly, out of the darkness, a little black, shadowy figure, shrouded in cobwebs, comes creeping, and then a second one. And they both crawl closer to the fire. Hang on, we might have another player. Just see if he's coming in. Time zones. I knew it.
It's always time zones.
Okay, well, if I'm interrupted again, we'll see. All right, so yeah, you hunker down low and watch them. Oh, hang on. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey.
All right. Let me see if I can get this other thing working.
Time zones?
Yeah. I mean, in my head in the beginning, I went 3 o'clock, right? And then I read 8 o'clock on your end. And somehow in my head, that translated to 5 p.m. on my side.
It's okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Everything's working. Holy shit.
Do you have access to the character sheets?
I'm getting there. I did. I've already chose one and everything.
Okay. Hopefully it's not the same one.
Where'd it go? Oh, well, let me go to your.
It'd be fantastic if like 2 more joined up, and then I have the month's worth of rations for everybody for that 1 week.
Where did I put your
Taco 10 provides.
Discord, right? Where was the link you sent me? Was that on Discord?
Probably.
I know on Grim's main Discord server, he dropped it in
Got it.
Grim Streams.
Oh, it was I think it was the merchant you wanted, the magical merchant.
I got stuff I just bought you could sell. I need to make up money.
There, it's right in front of me. I'd already pulled it up.
All right, cool. All right, so we played out a little introduction. You're on your way to a little village called Frostvale, which has a festival at the beginning of spring and the end of winter. I did talk about the background to the game, which is at some point in their lives, everybody goes on a journey to learn more about the world and so on.
Yay!
So let's just say that you're headed the same way, and I'll bring you in. It's night. You've been looking for somewhere to camp when you spotted a little bit of firelight not too far in the distance. So you hurry up and you're walking. Hang on, I just got another message.
How did I lose you?
Okay.
All right, hold on.
And you. Sorry, what?
Shit.
Oh, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Show. I no longer hear you all of a sudden.
Dang it.
It's crazy. Present, stop, settings, audio. Oh, that's why.
Sorted?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear
I
us?
can hear you again. All right.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know what happened, but it did.
Okay. And you've got your character. Are you sticking with the name Ludwig?
No, I'm trying to get to that was from the last thing, and I'm trying to remember how I did that last time. Edit name and headline. There we go.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. Does that say Roppongi Yukio?
It does indeed.
Voila.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So you hurry forward down the path, and as you do, you see little black shapes close to the fire, but they dart away when they realize someone else is approaching. And as you get even closer, you can see a solid-looking farmer, a pair of mules, and a dog close to the fire.
Oh.
Announce yourself.
How lovely. I love mules and dogs. Hi there.
Oh. I will bow and putting the axe down. I am Kenji Ren.
Oh, I will do a little bow back to you, my friend. I am Roppongi Yukiya. I am just on my travel, on my first journey abroad. How about you?
I am on the equivalent of Rumspringa. I am but a humble farm boy. This is Mana, and this is Momo and Appa. Oh.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking at my character sheet here, and I am an animal person without animals.
Okay. So you're a merchant, yes?
Correct. Mundo.
Okay. So. Oh, of course, they're not in alphabetical order. Why would they do that?
Because they're
Animal
not
owner. You've learned how to raise animals that will help you carry your goods. Normally, only one animal can be taken on a journey. With this skill, you can keep more animals without incurring food and water effects. Okay, so same as with Kenji, because there's just 2 players, we'll say, yeah, you can have a string of pack animals with you too.
All right. Can they be llamas?
They can be llamas, yes.
Excellent.
So you have a train behind you that closely resembles a Korean boy band.
I will look at you, and I have plenty to eat, and warm yourself up by my fire.
Well, thank you so much for your kind generosity. What are we eating tonight?
Rice, pick with a bit of pickled ginger.
Okay. Well, your generosity is greatly appreciated. Konnichiwa.
Do not thank me. Thank Daikoku-ten. As I kind of do like a little prayer. Daikoku-ten is one of the 7 lucky gods. It's the god of agriculture in Japanese myth.
Awesome.
All right, cross off 2 rations.
Yep.
From Kenji's list.
Oh, look, my 7 rations are gone. Yay.
And yeah, Roppongi turning up seems to have scared off whatever strange shadow creatures they were that were approaching the fire.
Was there was something here?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that after you introduced yourself, because I have no idea who the hell you are.
I'm just a simple merchant on my way to, have a good time for the first time in my life.
What is your name?
Roppongi.
Okay. As I said, Kenji Ren. You didn't notice the smaller shadows before you approached?
Sure I did. Of course I do. I mean, who wouldn't? How could you not?
Do you know what they were?
Shadows.
They seem to hunt like dogs in a pack, coming from all sides to strike.
Well, that sounds very distressing and has me a bit concerned. How are we going to ensure our safety overnight?
Fire, and I'll just pick up the axe.
Ooh. Well, how about if I do this? I can create a little, bell here, see? And I assume at this point I'm going to spend 4 magic points, and then what?
Well, what spell is it?
It is called Alert Bell Alarm.
Alert Bell Alarm, page 76. Okay. So it's a low-level spell. Costs 4 magic points. Protects a 10 square meter area. Right. Provides a +1 bonus to camping checks, but we'll just use it for roleplay now. Casting magic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me grab my dice.
Okay, it's not ritual magic, it's normal magic.
Mm-hmm.
Lasts 12 hours. Do you have to roll anything to cast it? Let's see.
While Grim is looking up that, I'm gonna awk and go, you must be a priest. Forgive me.
No. No. I just, I have an affinity for understanding things here and there, and learning a little secret or two, and it just makes life a little easier. And
And protecting your wealth. Okay, roll your intelligence die plus your spirit die. Don't roll two ones.
All right, so a D6 and a D8. Wow, I haven't seen a D8 in a while.
They are
So,
on awkward.
8 and 2. 8 obviously on the 8 and 2 on the 6.
Okay, no problem at all. No issues there. You chant your little chant, and a little glowing bell appears just above the fire, hovering slightly in the air, and that should alert you if anything gets too close to the camp. So you should both be able to sleep without any trouble. Plus, Mallow the dog can watch over you.
I'm just mystified at this. Like,
oh no! It's nothing like that at all. Please, no.
You must be blessed.
Lucky, perhaps.
Well, either way, come sit, eat.
Thank you.
All right. You enjoy a simple but tasty meal after a day's marching through the wilderness, and then presumably sleep, unless you want to do any more soft RP.
I don't believe we need anything else right now. I mean, I guess I could create a big, large, comfortable pile of dead leaves for us to sleep on.
I actually have the mana, and I procured this from the village of Hayden that I just passed a bit ago. It's a large cape that can be used as a blanket, made of animal fur, animal hide, but fur still on. So,
does Roppongi have a tent or a sleeping bag or anything?
Has a sleeping bag and water skin, rope.
The basics.
The basics.
Yeah, I have the basics too. So
you spend a slightly chilly and damp night under the stars.
Oh no! See, that's what the leaves are for. Is you put the leaves over top of you, and you're nice and warm and dry when you wake up in the morning.
Is that another
spell?
How
many points do I have? Yeah, it's only 2.
What's it called?
It is called Fallen Leaves.
Fallen Leaves. Presumably that's seasonal magic.
Fall magic.
Yes, or autumn, as we say over here.
Yeah, that's how I grew up too. I mean, my autumn, because there's a real strong German influence in the part of Michigan I grew up in. My grandma was an Autumnbright from, we believe, Austria, maybe Alsace. We're still not sure.
Why can't I find the magic section all of a sudden? There we go. Fallen Leaves. Right, 2 magic points. And roll your int plus spirit again.
Okay.
And don't roll a double 1.
Do not roll double 1. Did not roll double 1. 3 and 4.
Okay. So yeah, you chant again a few words in the old tongue. Raise your hands to the air, and when you bring them down again, a great big pile of dry autumnal leaves falls out of the sky and lands in a big heap close to you. One strays too close to the fire and burns up in a little puff of smoke, but you're able to burrow in underneath the leaves, and it's surprisingly warm. All right. So, you both sleep. If you spent magic points, you can have 2 magic points back. Which you have. And then it's another day of heading on. Do you want to head northwest, west, southwest, Which direction? The village you're aiming for is far to the west.
So I'm going to tell Rapungi I was taking the trade road, which leads directly west and probably the fastest option to get there. The reason being, so in 3 days there's going to be a festival, and I was told by the elder, what was his name, Kaijo, from Haketon Village, that it was a phenomenal festival and we shouldn't miss it. So I was trying to move as fast as we can, as fast as I could.
Excellent. Well, I mean, you've got your donkeys with you, right? Are they mules
Yeah.
or donkeys? I forgot.
They're mules. They're two mules.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, very
And
different.
they're fully laden with food for at least a month. It only should take us a week, but I figured help along the way. Maybe we get stuck. Maybe I can help somebody else out.
That's very generous and thoughtful of you.
I just followed Daikotan. Daikokutan. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, as somebody whose background and career is one of trading goods, let's take the trader's road so I know how to do it myself next time.
That's the road that we're currently on, going this way.
All right. It's time for another travel check.
Okay,
Right.
how do those work?
Right. Step 1. Everyone rolls strength plus spirit to determine your condition for the day.
Oh. Strength plus spirit.
That's a 9, Grim.
Okay.
5
You're
and
feeling
5.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
So Kenji is feeling good, and Roppongi rolled 10, so that means you're feeling fit as a fiddle. You can choose one of your statistics, and it's one die type bigger for the day.
Is there bigger than a D8?
Yeah, D10. But it only lasts for a day.
All right. I'm going to increase my intelligence to D8.
Okay. So you feel very refreshed and bright and alert this morning. You slept well. It's been uneasy on the road by yourself, and you feel like you can relax a bit with someone else and a dog around. Okay, the next check is for the actual travel itself. So everyone rolls strength plus dex. You're still traveling on grassland, and it's still overcast, but not raining or snowing. So the difficulty is 6. Strength plus dex. Difficulty
that's
6.
a 7.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Trader, negotiate. Okay. And then, oh, crap. Uh-oh. That's a 4.
Okay. So that's below 6, so that's a failure. So halve your current hit points, rounding down.
All right, wait a minute. Hit points. There we go. Wow.
How did you take a tumble?
Confused.
Yeah.
No, that part's fine. I take a tumble. I'm not used to being outside of my, comfortable little village, and every once in a while I'm a little clumsy. It just happens. It's by mistake. All right. So I'm trying to find hit points. So I see, HP, MP. Got him. HP. Yep. So I am halved. Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, some disrespectful so-and-so left an invisible tortoise in the road, and you tripped over it. And skinned your hands on the gravel and grit of the road. Hit points come and go pretty easily in this. But
this is going to sound a little bit funny, me asking, how laden are your llamas?
Lightly laden llamas to
How about
bring
this?
back lots of lucky losers.
We take one of my mules, take the burden off of that, distribute it to your llamas, and we'll put you on the mule so we can try to keep the pace.
Drama llama, farmer llama, or armor llama?
Drama and fama.
All right, so you just take the opportunity to redistribute a bunch of the rice and water containers between all the animals a bit more evenly, and allow Pongi to rest a little by riding on one of the mules.
We could probably find you a healer in the next village over, or the next village we come to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the next thing to do is to make a direction check to see if you end up where you're supposed to end up. So one person acting as guide needs to roll int plus int.
I am not good at int. Rapungi,
Oh,
please roll
That
int plus int.
actually is one of the things I'm good at, right?
And
Yeah.
your die type's still one higher because you feel good today.
Right. D8.
So D10s, wasn't it? Because it went up.
No. I was at D6. My spirit.
Oh,
is
okay.
D8.
Fair enough.
Yep. Okay. So, well, that was an 8 and a 6.
Okay, no problem at all. So yeah, you managed to stay on the path and continue
That way.
due west.
That way. Look, the shadows go that way.
All right, it's about midday. You're just eating a few strips of dried meat and so on from the rations, just to tide you over until your evening meal. When the wind changes and blows down the valley from up ahead of you, and on the wind is carried the sound of music. Just when the wind's blowing in your direction, you can hear it carried on the wind, and then when the wind changes again, it fades away. But there must be
So are the hills alive?
possibly. So there must be someone or some people playing instruments somewhere up ahead. It's hard to tell how far away because you can't hear them yet when the wind is in your direction.
What is the equivalent of a sense check in Ryuutama?
I would say int plus spirit.
Okay. I'm gonna pause for a moment and bring myself still to try to just listen.
Okay, make the roll.
6.
Okay, when you concentrate, you think you can hear it right on the edge of your hearing, but you're not sure if it's your brain making it up or whether you can actually hear it. When the wind changes again, you can definitely hear flutes and stringed instruments playing, and you think you can hear voices singing.
Is that going to the west, going to the east, north, or south?
It's further west, the way you're heading.
Oh, it sounds like the Merriment is down the road from us.
Well, lovely.
You ready to continue?
Well, you have the lead on the mule, and I'm sitting on the mule.
No, I didn't know if you needed to stretch your legs a little bit. Riding a mule can be tough.
That's very considerate of you, but no, I'm good.
He's happy being lazy. He's got to work on that merchant belly. Otherwise, no one takes you seriously as a merchant. All right. Not long after, you enter a slight sort of hollow. The ground around here is a little wetter, a little looser, and there's the remnants of a much older road crossing over north to south, just the bare remnants of what's left of it. But at the crossroads, there are 5 minstrels, musicians, and their pack animals, and they seem to have set up a camp here. One of the mules that they've got has a couple of big barrels strapped to either side of it, and they're occasionally tapping that to get some drink out of it, and playing their instruments and singing. They sing for a little while, and then they stop, and then they all compare notes and talk to each other, and seem to be talking to try and improve it. You heard them before you came upon them, and the song seems to be celebrating the grand beauty of some noble woman, and their arguments are about how to improve the song. They're so wrapped up in their music and discussion that they don't even notice you guys approach.
Hello. I'm waving.
It's an intelligence and spirit check to like kind of figure out what they're talking about, what's happening, kind of. So that's what you said was perception.
Yeah, but I mean, I already described kind of what they're doing. But if you want to check out for anything else,
well, what I want to do is to listen to their song and see if I recognize or perhaps even am inspired to come up with a new verse or so.
Okay, intelligence plus spirit.
Okay, so that's a 6 and a 3.
So that's 9. That's pretty good. You don't think you could improve on what they're suggesting? They're trying to find new ways to describe and compare someone's beauty, and they're trying to make it a fun song. So they're trying to create lines that describe someone's beauty in a way that sounds insulting at the first half of the sentence, and then changes at the end to being something good.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible at that. No,
yeah,
I wouldn't be able to good at that.
But they're arguing a lot with each other about it and seem dissatisfied with their results so far. But when Kenji waves, they stop playing their instruments and look up towards you and wave back. Hello.
Are you? I take it you guys are minstrels or bards of some nature?
Yes, we are a troupe of traveling performers. We are the Green Troop.
Ah.
Where are you traveling to?
We have been offered a job at, I need a name of a town. Let's think. At Spire, to the south. So we're loath to leave Frostvale at this time of year. But we've been offered so much money if we can crack this song and entertain people and celebrate the lady for her birthday that it's been worth it. But we're having some trouble getting it right. I take it you're headed to Frostvale.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. I am Kenji Red. This is, and I'll usher to you.
Yeah. Roppongi. I am Roppongi. So we're sitting at a crossroads and we're headed west, and you want to go south, but the crossroads, the road that's crossing is very.
Oh no, we're heading east till we leave the valley, and then heading south.
Oh, that seems a wiser course. I was concerned for your safety if you had gone off this trade route.
Well, yes, going up into the mountains wouldn't be a good idea for us. We are skilled performers, but not skilled mountaineers.
What is that song you're singing about?
Well, we're trying to compose a song to celebrate the lady, but we're difficult. We decided to do something that isn't particularly straightforward.
Can you describe the lady that you're speaking of?
Well, we only have a description. That's part of the trouble. Statuesque, very dark hair, comely figure, somewhat severe face, apparently, according to someone who's met her. So it just makes things a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, what rhymes with resting bitch face?
well, exactly.
I mean, I actually was gifted this stick, if I remember correctly, Blackthorn shines, right? Blackthorn has a natural kind of shine to it of like a muddy, darker brown or almost black.
Yeah, if you polish it up, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe her beauty is as straight as Blackthorn shimmer.
Yeah, but it is a wood of ill aspect in some cultures.
Oh, Blackthorn is bad? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, where I come from, I mean, we grow rice and it tastes sweet, and it grows from the earth.
As sweet as rice cooked in milk. It's
as sweet as rice and pure as snow.
Perhaps. It might take sweet rice to be fattening, and we can't have that. It's difficult. I don't suppose either of you is a magician, are you?
Like, what do you mean?
Are you able to cast spells?
Yeah, I can. I'm pretty smart that way. Very lucky. I've been very, very fortunate in my life. Why do you ask?
Well, we have this book that might help us out of our predicament, but we can't read it properly. Roka, show the gentleman the book. One of the performers, a woman wrapped in veils with jangly bells all over, comes sweeping over and presents you with a leather-bound grimoire.
Uh-oh. Well, this is lovely. This looks kind of like mine. I have a leather-bound grimoire as well. Is it similar to mine?
Ish. It's old and battered, extremely well thumbed. The spine is starting to come away.
I love old books. What does it smell like?
Smells like mold.
Oh, that's no good. I think this book needs a little help.
Well, is it
Where did
is
it
it
come from?
legitimate?
I mean, it's a book.
trade.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see the pages and the cover. The binding has not been well treated.
A trader we met far to the west beyond Frostvale sold it to us. Said it could help us with our inspiration.
Interesting. Okay. So I guess I'm going to be using intelligence and spirit rolls to take a gander at this thing.
Yeah.
All righty.
While he's doing that, I'm going to ask them if they wanted something to eat, and I'll start making a meal. And I'll share it with everybody.
Okay. Well,
there's a reason why I'm being very nice in game. There's a legit reason for it.
we'll come to that in a bit.
Awesome. 7 and 3. That's a
okay.
10.
So that's 11. Oh, sorry, 10.
7.
Yeah.
Made me wonder, what did I just say?
Okay. That's right. You flip through the book. A lot of it is sort of nonsense or quasi-nonsense, kind of building up an impression and an image for surface-level magic users or laymen to be sort of enchanted by it. The odd spot of herb lore and so on, which is moderately useful. But then eventually it gets to a ritual. The ritual's written in code with a lot of obscure magical terminology in it, but you're able to read it properly with a roll that high. And it appears to be a spell that will summon an Oni musician.
I'm trying to remember which one Onis are.
Demons.
Yeah, ogres.
Yeah. That's right. Ogres. Okay, so here's the great news. It's a legitimate book. It really, it does stuff. It has some interesting information. And it appears that it can help you, but to do so would summon an Oni. And then I don't know what happens after that. It just says that it'll play music with you.
Huh. And what do we need to do to summon this creature?
Well, I'm going to say there's probably a little ritual, and there's probably going to be some sort of animal sacrifice. And no, not that one. But there will be things that need to be expended. There's probably going to be a necessity for your intentions to be pure. Probably some balance in the 5 different elements will be required.
Do you think it's safe?
Well, you never know till you try.
What do I know about Onis?
Only the things the old people, the tales the old people tell around the fires in winter in the village. Only a bad news.
Describe what kind of Oni it says it's going to summon again.
It's said to summon an Oni musician. It doesn't really go into much more depth than that. One who can create any rhyme, any song, reveal any story. It's the downside of summoning it is conspicuously absent from the text.
This has got "Devil Went Down to Georgia" all written all over it.
Well, it's definitely, one of those things where you're thinking, if we were playing in a different system, I would actually have a different mindset about it. But because of the system we're playing in, I'm going to say, look, most Oni, when you hear about them, it's because they're like Oni Nagadashi wielders, right? They're Oni warriors. This one's pretty specific, says it's an Oni musician. That's I've never heard about an Oni musician in any of the folktales. So I think there might be a better opportunity for this to work than not. But it's your book, folks. What would you like me to do?
Well, none of us can cast such a ritual. Do you think you could cast it for us?
So as I study this ritual, does it require more than 16 magic points?
It is a long ritual incantation. It does not require any magic points. It just requires you to follow the ritual.
Oh, interesting.
Without getting the incantations and so on wrong. The only problem you can see is that you have to write some complicated characters on a piece of paper and nail it to a tree. And there are no trees where you are right now.
No trees. It says it has to be a tree. Where are we? How could there be no trees? Wait a minute. Where are we?
You're in a valley. You're in an area of grassland at the moment. There is patchy woodland, but not near you at the moment.
Wait, what is my... No, that won't work.
I have a question for the NPCs here. How long have they been musicians?
They give a variety of answers. There's 5 of them. One person's new. 3 of them have been musicians all their life, and one of them is more the sort of manager and organizer than anything else.
Which one of them has a walking stick with them?
The manager has a walking stick.
All right. So let me borrow your walking stick. And I'm going to, if he hands it over, I will then firmly plant it into the ground.
I am backing away a lot with the dog and the mules. I don't want no part of this. I'll feed people, but this is not me. Nope. This seems taboo. No.
I'm going to take my knife and use that so that I can tack to the tree, because magic works by correspondence, and this stick was once a tree in the ground, and it is again now in the ground. Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my quill pen and a page from my spell book and write these very complicated things that need to be written and drawn, and I will use my knife to stick that into the tree.
Okay, and they have some nails in their supplies, so that's the other thing you might need. All right. So,
all right. I was just going to use the dagger. If they've got nails, that's even better.
They've got nails for sticking up posters to show that they're
of course. They're in town.
Yeah. All right. So, can you roll your int plus spirit, please?
I can. And I'm guessing double ones is bad.
Double ones is bad.
Okay, so 5 and 6.
Okay, so that's 11. It's not a tree, but you did the whole correspondence thing, so it's only going to drop it to 10, but that's still good enough. Okay, the performers sort of stand around you, wrapped in the whole process that you're going through. Kenji retreats to a safe distance. The night is closing in, so you are going to have to camp here tonight. If you don't flee into the darkness in horror. Okay. All right. You utter the last syllable of the incantation, and the wind shifts again, coming from the east and blowing quite strongly. The fire flutters, embers go scattering into the sky.
It changes direction immediately.
Yeah.
I'm arming myself with that axe. No, I don't like this. I do not like this.
And the wind stills again, and in the smoke coming from the fire, now that it died back a bit, gradually a shadowy, tall shape starts to emerge. A tall, gangly figure in a long kimono, black and grey kimono, the colors of smoke and coals. Wears a white mask in the shape of a skull upon its face, and a great white horn projects from its forehead. Long, lank, tangled hair pours down over its shoulders and down, and it's plucking at a shamisen as it seems to coalesce out of the air above the fire.
I gotta say, it's not quite what I was expecting, my friend, but welcome. So you're the magic Oni.
You summoned me, it says in a deep voice that seems to tickle and buzz at your ears and your neck hairs, and seems to be coming from right behind you, even though it's right in front of you. Several of the minstrels sort of twitch and look behind them as if they're hearing it coming from behind them as well. And Kenji hears it behind him.
Oh, I'm starting to pray to Daikutenda now. I'm just.
Well, technically, this book is what summons you, and the book says you're a musician, and those folks over there, they have a musical quest, and they were told that you, among all of the entities in the world, in particular in the spirit world, would be the ones to be able to help them. And I have a class skill called Well Spoken. The effect is +1 to negotiation, int plus spirit rolls.
Okay. So you're trying to negotiate on their behalf to get them slightly less screwed over by a deal with a demon.
Correct.
Okay. So presumably that's under merchant.
Yes.
Yeah. Well spoken. All right. Roll int plus spirit and add 1 to the end result.
Right. We're still 2d8s. That's a 3. That's a 6. So 9 plus 1. 10.
10, yeah.
You know, we're just following the instructions in the book.
Yeah, but the instructions have kind of run out at this point, having summoned him. But he listens to your entreaties and then listens to them as they tell him what they need exactly.
Yeah.
It plucks away on the shamisen a delightful song that pleases the ear, though you can't quite. It's like it's in one ear and out the other, but you just know that you like it a lot. And as he plays, each note seems to pluck a sheet of music out of the air, which falls at the feet of the minstrels, who dart and dash around, gathering up the sheets as they gather. And then the demon just mysteriously says, the deal then is struck. Gives one last pluck at the shamisen and disappears, leaving a scent of jasmine and honeysuckle in the air as it dissipates.
See, that wasn't so bad, was it? That wasn't quite how I expected it to go down, but yeah.
All right.
So,
now,
how's the song sound? What's it? How'd it work out? Is this going to be?
Shush! We need to study this. We need to practice.
Okay. Well, good luck.
Now, they all gather frantically around it, and despite the darkness, start to fiddle around and play. All right. So now it's the camping check for the night. It's a bit too late to go anywhere else, so you're kind of stuck camping with the minstrels. Where's the reference gone? Travel Rules 102. All right. Right. One person rolls for camping, but the other person can provide support. So one of you can substitute your stat in for the person who's leading making camp. Camping is Dex plus Int.
I have 6 and 4, but I think your Int is better than mine. How's your Dex?
Until the end of the day. No, it's the same. I have a D4 Dex and a D8 Int until the end of the day.
Well, that's like two bits higher.
All right. Well, let's
well,
see what happens.
Someone roll the 2 highest dice.
What can I do to help?
Probably build up the fire a bit more.
4 and 4.
Okay, so that's 8. That's enough. Okay. So, despite the disturbance of the musicians fiddling around with their music all night, despite having encountered a strange demon at the crossroads,
a musical demon at the crossroads who gave us a new song.
Yes.
So, I'm just pointing that out right now, that happened in a cozy game.
Well, you didn't immediately eat your heads, so that's something to be grateful for. Right, so your current hit points is doubled up to your maximum, and your magic points are fully restored.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
I'm sorry, what happened to my hit points?
Doubled up to your maximum.
Up to, okay. Good. That took me back to full. And well, so one of the things I was going to say, but apparently didn't matter, if there had been an issue with the studying, I have this harvest moon thing that creates a clear night and moonlight that illuminates the area.
You're fine. You didn't need to worry about that. And with the minstrels up all night.
Well, it was for them, actually. That was what I was going to do, was have that bright moonlight, so it would be easier for them to practice and read and perform.
Well, the next morning at the crack of dawn, even though you slept well, you're woken by the minstrels getting ready to leave. They all seem extremely excited by the song and are constantly practicing it, even as they get their sort of baggage train ready to go.
Oh, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Sleep all night and I work all day.
Thank you so much for your help, Roppongi. They all bow to you and offer you several bottles of plum wine in exchange. Wow. So Kenji offered to feed everyone, so he needs to lose 7 rations. You can get 2 rations back from the bottles of wine.
Okay.
They wave goodbye, and the guy that's closest to you when he waves, you see that his fingers are slightly bloody from playing all night. But they seem animated and keen to get going, and they bid you adieu, and away they head to the east.
Bye. I'm gonna look at Rapunji. Perhaps that wasn't as bad as I thought it was, Rapunji-san.
Well, you know, we were lucky. What can I say? I'm just kind of a lucky guy.
All right. So it's
And that's just
another day.
how I interpret spirit, to be honest. All right, so new day, my int. Do I have to do all that stuff again? It's
Right,
back to
yeah,
spirit?
we have to do the
Yeah.
travel thing again. So,
All right.
which way do you want to head? Do you want to follow the old road north or south, or do you want to just keep heading straight west, or what's the plan here? Which way do you want to go?
Man,
This is
there's a
day.
party to the west.
Yeah, day 2 of 4, and we got to catch up like 3 days. So I don't know how if we caught up any time or not, but I still want to keep going west. And how's your leg doing, Rapunji? Is it better?
You know, I mean, I could fall again at any moment. You never know.
Well, you seem to be fine, so I'm gonna, pack my mule back up.
Let's see what the weather's like today. Okay, it's
those rations. Does that cover breakfast? I gotta drop those too, right?
yeah, it's rations
wait.
for the day. It's just
Yeah.
But the 2 bottles of wine, can I use those as like my trader skill and then sell them when we get to?
you could do if you want to keep hold of them.
Yeah, I figured you were doing that. That's why I paid the cost of 7 rations. I bought like a whole month worth.
Wow,
Plus I had 2, so yeah,
what a match.
yeah. I kind of thought we might be able to share some bread for good fortune, or make friends along the way. That might help us later down the road. So
the weather's damp and close, and slightly misty, but nothing that's going to get in the way of you traveling. So everyone make a condition check, strength plus spirit.
Five.
Okay.
Any bonuses from that great rest?
Yeah. No. But that's not bad. It's not good either. What did Rapunji get? You're muted. Maybe he was interrupted. I don't know.
Maybe.
Edvard, you are muted. Okay, never mind. All right. Do you want to go ahead and make Kenji's travel check then?
Okay. And then what was those 2 dice again?
All right, here I
that's
am.
strength.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was weird. My question was that I'm looking at where do I make that particular roll? So like I see journey rules and those checks.
Yeah. Condition
Then
check is strength plus spirit.
Okay, that's it. Just straightforward every time.
Yeah.
Grim,
Yeah.
I've lied. I keep missing the fact that I have robust, so that's a 6, not a 5.
Okay.
I got
have
a
a
plus
7.
1. Yeah.
So what'd you get?
7.
7. Okay. So that's your condition for the day. Next is the travel check to travel without incident. So you both roll strength plus dex. Difficulty is 6.
Damn it. That's a 4.
Okay.
That's a 3.
Okay. So halve both of your hit points.
I fell again. I'm sorry. I told you, man, I'm not really good at this travel thing.
So the trouble is that the road has now pretty much petered out, and recent rains and so on have muddied it up, so you can't really tell where the path is anymore. You end up straying a bit and having to make your way across a small rivulet. It's not very deep or anything, but the water coming down off the mountains is bitterly cold, and you all get a bit of a horrible chill.
Woo!
Okay, now roll for direction. So figure out the highest dice that both of you have.
That's
Who has-
Rapunji.
Who has
He's
the
good on that.
highest? Who has
Yeah,
the
it says-
highest int?
That's me.
Okay, 1 second. I think I did the assist wrong. I was thinking of a different game. That is the trouble.
Always, man.
Yeah. Okay, how do you do support? Also, you can spend half of your magic points to concentrate or a fumble point. Concentrating gives you +1. Support. Okay. Okay, whichever character is running support makes the same check with a target number of 5, and if they succeed, the person doing the main check gets +1.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's a 5.
okay, so Roppongi rolls his int plus int and adds 1.
Okay. And that is 6 and 3 plus 1 for 10.
Woohoo!
Okay, success. You find your way successfully.
You were right.
Right.
We did make a left there. We should have. You were right. I'm glad I listened to you.
Left turn
Make a
at
left at Albuquerque.
Yeah.
What's up, Dak?
Okay. Eventually, you find your way back onto the proper path. Though you're very cold and you're wet up to your shins. But as the sun begins to set in the evening, you make out the shape, the familiar and welcome shape of a temple not too far ahead.
Mm.
Have we gotten back to trees yet? Or are we still in the Great Plains of Quagmire?
So you're still on grassland at the moment, but as you get closer to the temple, you can see that northeast of the temple there is some forest on the slopes of the foothills.
What do you think about resting at the temple, and then we can gather wood and continue on?
Oh, I think that's a wonderful idea. I mean,
Oh.
you're a wood guy, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, wood. I get to
You could
chop
say
some
you
wood. Get to chop some wood. Ho, ho, ho.
You could say that's my natural habitat.
That's your jam. Bring some wood. I can make jam. Actually, I have a jam spell.
You can make jam out of wood.
Well, as long as it's edible, I could make jam out of wood. And there are, sugar.
Yeah, palms. If you beat the shit out of palms enough, there's a Spanish palm. Yeah.
All right.
I think there's a type of pine you can make gum out of too, from the resin.
Yeah. And sweeteners made from some birch trees, I think, xylitol.
Oh my god, I miss
Birch
fucking
beer.
sweet birch. Well, not
Oh,
birch, but chewing on a twig of birch is delicious. My grandfather had one in his yard.
I grew up in Michigan, and birch beer is real popular.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm from Pennsylvania originally, so yeah, I get you.
All right. You approach the temple. It seems pretty old, made out of old grey stone, and it's
Monks.
almost completely swathed in thick green moss. That seems to have been sort of deliberately grown over some of the statues. There's 4 statues of a slightly portly dragon at each corner of the temple, looking out northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. There are a couple of monks in green robes moving about, lighting paper lanterns for the night.
Hello.
Greetings, pilgrims. What brings you to our lowly temple?
We are on our way to Frostvale, and may we stop and rest. We have food to share. And is this a temple of the 7 gods? Perhaps?
This is the temple of the spring and of the green.
Huh? That'll do as well. But yeah, we have food to share if we may find a warm place to rest for the evening.
Of course. Come in,
Okay.
rest yourselves.
So I have an in-setting question.
Mhm.
Since the seasonal aspect seems to be an actual mechanic, what is it really do? So, like, if I am diametrically opposed as a autumnal human, what would it be like for me to go into a spring temple?
It should be all right. It's just it's not particularly attuned to you and your tastes and sensibilities.
Mhm.
Oh, hang on. Just had another message.
It kind of makes me wonder what happens if you were a spring chicken in a spring temple.
I think a spring chicken in an autumn temple gets eaten.
Oh no!
There's a few other monks about the place. They're all fairly old. It seems they all wear green robes, grow their hair and their beards long, and sort of potter about doing their various duties. But they're very glad for you to share your meal with them. So we'll take off more rations for that.
Yeah.
But they have plenty of water and they have their own food supplies that they'll share back. So yeah, it's all fairly mutual. They all seem to mostly live and sleep in one big communal room at the center. It's
That sounds
surprisingly
warm. Yeah.
It's surprisingly warm in there. A sort of thick wooden floor with a stone sort of raised fire area where you can cook various things. And between that and the lanterns, you can see everything. They all sit kind of cross-legged around the fire and join you for your evening meal.
Okay. I was gonna say if they have a better cook than me, then I'll not only offer up some rations, but I'll also help them like do some temple duties till the food's done, like cleaning or whatever they need. Cutting firewood would be great.
They have a fair. Well, no, their stock of firewood is getting low, but it's a long way to the woods and back with a lot of firewood, especially
They don't have
at
any,
night.
they don't have anything unchopped.
Yeah, they've probably got some stuff you can chop, and you have a nice shiny axe, or a
Damn
well-kept
right.
axe. You can chop some wood.
Stood
What
right in the
does
fight into
Rapon?
some shit.
Yeah, does
That's an
Rapon, do you want
11.
to do anything? Yeah. Does Rapon-
Rapungi is just working on becoming a fat merchant.
sitting by the fire, eating, drinking.
Mm-hmm. Enjoying the company, paying attention.
Okay. One sec. I need to check something here.
Would they be partial to me gathering some of the loose bits of wood for tinder?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay, cool. And are these monks the kind of monks that make like wine or some type of brouhaha?
They probably brew some beer or something on the side. Yeah.
I'm gonna nudge at Rapungi is I mean, I can invest in some money if you want to try to buy some of the wine off them. I'm pretty confident all temple wines are really good.
I'm not. So maybe we should try it before we think about buying it.
And that's why you're the business guy.
You've been kind enough to share, so they're happy to share some drink with you. But if you want to buy some to take with you, it's 10G per bottle.
Haggle. We've been very kind.
Oh, I mean, how good is it? You know, is it
Well, you can
really?
make a negotiate roll if you want. That's the NPCs.
No, I have a trader may buy and sell in bulk at a reduced or increased price. That's all it says. Just that's the trader skill for merchant.
Yeah. Ah, okay. All right. Well, what do you have to trade? What good is it to us to give you our drink, which comforts us? And
Well, this is what I'm going to tell you is that I have a really exceptional plum wine that honestly it's worth about 4 of your bottles of, but I'll happily go down to 3 to 1, and then we'll just we'll go from there, and I guarantee we're all gonna have a great time. Everybody's gonna be happy, and oh Jesus Christ,
so it's int plus spirit.
yeah. So that was 6. Not so great.
6
buy it-
total.
Wait. Since can I help on this one?
Are you a trader?
How?
Well, I actually did work for them. I gave them food, and
And you did roll quite high on your wood cutting.
yeah, I did.
Okay, so you can grant a +1, but that's not going to mean much.
Yeah.
All right. They're loath to part with it, but they'll give you 11G for your bottles of plum wine, and they will sell their beer to you at 9G.
9G.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that because I only got I was going to go throw down 100.
Okay. Well, beer is a meal in a glass, so each one you buy counts as a ration.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
that's going to be sold. So, Ripungi, take. I'm just going to give you 90 gold. We'll buy an even 10 on their stuff, and then whatever you got for your plum wine, just add that stuff to sell later.
Whoa, hold on. Where's
Minus 90 is going to leave me with 96 left.
Oh, there's my currency. Okay. All right. So who's doing the math for me? I'm at 348. What happened?
Okay, so I gave you 90 from mine to buy 9 bottles at 9 coins apiece because they're 9 coins, so 9 times 10 is 90.
Right.
So
And
if you want to,
then-
if you're gonna buy some, then it's gonna be nine coins a pop.
No, yeah, just yours. I'm negotiating for you, and you're gonna give me 10% on the end when you sell them in town. So great. There we go. I don't have to do anything.
Well, are you gonna trade in your plum wine?
No.
Just going to keep it.
Okay. All right. So 10 temple beer.
Okay. All right. Well, unless you want to do anything else during the night at the temple.
I'm gonna ask them if they know anything about this blackthorn walking stick. If there's anything up to it.
Oh, it's part of the tradition with our shrines and our temples, and those of many other dragons as well. We leave walking sticks and other supplies at the little statues of dragons that we leave along the roads and pathways. That's a fine stuff for someone to have left.
Yeah, for some reason it called to me after I prayed to the shrine at Hayden.
Well,
I didn't know if there was anything up with it or not.
perhaps you were guided to it. It's finely made, it's strong, stout. Quite expensive. I'm surprised someone would leave it at a shrine.
Yeah, I don't know if it was maybe I was supposed to leave it here or keep it with me. That's what I'm trying to decide on.
What does your heart tell you?
Oh, I don't know. Can I make a roll for that?
Make a spirit roll.
Spirit roll. Okay, all right. Damn, 11.
Your heart does indeed tell you to leave it here.
I'm pretty yeah. I was confident. That was my gut instinct, but yeah. I believe Daikoten wants me to leave it with you.
Well then, we gladly accept, and we shall bequeath it to the next traveler in need that comes through. He takes the stick with some reverence and carries it over to the altar at the far end with the carved dragon upon it, and sets the stick down there.
Is that where you pray as well? May I pray?
Of course, please
right.
kneel and pray.
All right, yeah. Then I'll pray. Then that's everything I need to do aside from sleep.
I have a rules question.
Yep.
What does the quality of rations do in game mechanics?
It can give you a bonus, I believe. So higher quality rations, I think, give you a bonus on the camping check.
Okay, because I can make any rations delicious, but they have to be consumed or they rot.
So is that a spell, or do you just have a little?
It's a ritual.
I was wondering whether it was magic or whether you had a little pot marked MSG or something.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? MSG? Yeah.
Shazam!
You would. I'm telling you, man. MSG is like amazing product. Really.
We just got this Japanese seasoning that's like flaked seaweed and some other stuff, and that's really good.
Yeah, that's where MSG comes from. From the seaweed. So absolutely.
All right. If you lost hit points, you can have them back. If you use magic points, you can have them back because the temple provides plenty of hospitality. Okay.
Oh, mechanic question again. Fumble points, could you brought them up? What are those and how are they accumulated? How do you know?
So anytime someone fumbles, rolls double one, something bad happens, but you all get a fumble point.
No.
And then later on, you can spend a fumble point to concentrate, which will give you a +1 bonus to a roll.
Okay.
And you can also spend half your magic points to give yourself +1 on a roll, or you can combine the two to get +2.
And that's for all characters or just magic users only?
All characters.
Oh,
so
okay.
It gives non-magicians a use for their magic points. But if you run out of magic points, you faint.
Oh.
So you could make maximum effort. So you could spend half your magic points and then the rest to put supreme effort into something, which would give you +2. But then you would faint at the end of that.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Okay. When the temple bell sounds in the morning, you're awoken. Monks, being monks, up stupid early, sweeping and doing their various duties around the temple. One of which you realize from the smell seems to be a sort of disgusting job where they mix dung and straw with water to make a sort of thin, watery substance, which they then use to feed the moss on the temple or to help it grow over the rest of the stone. Which means that at least during the morning, there's a very strong smell of dung to the temple.
No shit.
Well, no, plenty of shit. All right. So you can make out the forests to the northwest, or the road is very hard to make out, but it just continues straight west. Or you can go any other direction you want.
The straight western road, does it have any trees nearby it or no?
No, just to the north of it.
Damn it.
But where we want to go is to the west, and I understand you have
Yeah.
this compulsion to spend time with trees, but in fact,
Well,
we have a party to go to.
one of the things we ran out of was having a little bit of trouble of making proper fires. And
Oh, I hadn't realized that.
extra wood to sell would be nice, especially if we get lucky enough to find something like, I don't know, cherry wood or.
I mean, if you headed northwest, you would still be heading west.
Yeah. Plus, if
and
we
that
can
would take
actually
you to the
hunt
west.
and eat an actual game creature instead of rations, that would be nice to get some good protein.
That's the point. Reduce your rations by 4 because you're helping feed
Oh,
them.
that's right.
They're
Yeah.
fairly ascetic. So,
plus, hunting animals can bring us fur, and there's all kinds of things we can find and trade in the forest. It's just really hard to do that in the fields unless you're growing stuff.
It just sounds really dangerous.
Yeah, as dangerous as summoning an Oni.
Yeah.
Huh?
Matter of fact, it does.
Yeah.
so judgmental.
I mean, that worked out really well. So sure, I'll trust you. You trusted me on the Oni. I'll trust
Okay.
you on the woods.
All right. Well, I'm not looking for a big divert, just a little divert, just to grab what we can and head on our way.
Did you say diaper?
Divert.
Oh, divert.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure the monks have a onesie before we can go.
All right. As you march off towards the woods, it begins to rain, and you look forward to getting under the cover of the trees.
I
and out of,
invert
out of
my cape.
All right. All right. Condition check first. Everyone roll strength plus spirit.
Woohoo.
12. No, wait.
Rapunji
Yeah,
get?
no, 12.
And Rapunji?
9.
Okay, so Kenji is feeling full of beans, and you can pick one of your stats to be boosted for the day.
All right. I'm hoping we get some combat, so let's buff up that strength.
All right, and can you both roll strength plus dex? But you're heading into woodland, and it's raining, so the difficulty is 9.
Holy smoke. Strength plus dex, you said?
Yep.
What was the previous one? Oh, well, we'll give me
6.
All right, I got a 10.
Okay.
That's an 11.
All right. Not a problem then. Despite the rain coming down and making the ground boggy underfoot, making it difficult to traverse and keep the water out of your eyes, you manage to travel without incident. Do you end up where you're aiming for? Okay.
Direction check.
So, yes, that's int plus int. One of you can roll for support. The other person...
support.
Okay. Make your support roll first. So int plus int.
7. Holy shit.
Okay. So Rapunji rolls at +1.
And that is 6, 2, and 1, 7.
6 and 2 and 1 would be 9.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was added the 1 and 7, and then it just what came out of my mouth.
Okay, so you end up where you're aiming, and we will get to what happens at the end of that. Right. One second.
I don't know if you're feeling it there, Pungi, but that inner hunter-gatherer is about to come out. Ooh, what's this? I want it. Ooh, what's this? I want it. Ooh, what's this? I want it. Hey, can you sell this?
Have an urge, I could tell.
Well, on that strength and dex, I got a 9 because like my strength right now is a D10. The D6 was a 2, and I was like, ooh, okay. This character really wants to stretch his legs. I gotta hit something.
Okay. We'll seek to oblige because it's good to test the combat system. All right. So yeah, you reach the trees and gratefully get in under them. The sound of the rain changes from the soft thump as it hits the ground to that more staticky sound as it hits the leaves above you and drips down through them. The forest, to Kenji's practiced eye, the trees here, a lot of them, there's not a lot of dead brush on the ground.
Mhm.
So someone has been collecting firewood here from the looks of it.
The temple.
And some of the trees look to have been coppiced or looked after to one degree or another. Can you both make int plus spirit rolls, please?
Yes.
Come on. 8, 4, and 4. Nice.
6 and 2.
Was that a crit then? Do you have
What?
4 and int and Kenji?
No. My spirit's a D6.
Okay.
The only thing I have I have a 4 and is just the int.
Okay, so you got 8 and Roppongi got
8.
Okay. Right. As you make your way through the trees, and this is Kenji's jam, so to speak.
Mhm.
So you're making good time and wending your way through the trees, but you both become aware of a rather amateurishly conspicuous pit trap on the trail that you've been following.
Okay.
There's
And
a
it-
sudden sort of slight dip in the ground and a rather suspicious pile of leaves spread out over a circular area.
Okay, so it looks active, like no one's tripped it.
No one's tripped it yet. And you think you briefly see a sort of glint of eyes up in the tree branches.
Like, if this was a clock, what position and from me?
2 o'clock.
Okay, 2 o'clock, and then if we do on the
70
vertical.
degrees up.
Okay. I'm gonna whistle in a kind of way that Mana will understand, and then I'm gonna look at Roppongi as guard the stock. Guard, just guard and support.
Your look is? Your look is guard?
No. I'm whistling to the dog, and I'm just gonna give you a look and say the word guard. How much movement will it take me to get to a tree where I see the eyes coming from?
Take you a full turn of movement to get there.
Is it like a full turn and a swing, or is it like a full turn and no swing?
Well, I don't think you could cut down a tree in a single swing.
No, but I can shake the shit out of it with a big old strike.
Well, that would be the start of combat if you did that.
Yeah. Or I could just be lazy and just pull out the sling and just knock one up and start combat like that, which should probably be smarter. So I'll do that. I'm going to do that.
Okay. 1 second while I get set up here. Okay.
Initiative. Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Combat. combat rules 116. Okay. First, we decide on 5 objects in the area. And you can invoke objects similar to the way you invoke traits in Fate to give you bonuses and things. So we already know that the pit is there and a tree is an object. So you guys can pick objects as well in the area. Like you might decide that there's a boulder you can use for cover, or some thick brambles, or
big moss covered log.
So big log.
Since I'm probably standing, I'm going to see if there's a way I can have line of sight to sling a stone and still be partial covered behind a tree.
Okay, so we'll add more trees for cover.
Yeah.
And one more thing, I'm going to say there's platforms in the trees.
Oh, no.
So that's the 5 objects. Now you roll initiative, Dex plus Int.
All right. That is 10.
Okay, so Kenji...
Wait. What happens if I crit on both? I rolled a 6 and a 4.
For initiative... basically just means you go first, even if someone else rolled high.
So I sponge-bobbed it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, I've got it.
Okay, and what did Rapunji get for initiative?
6.
Okay. Okay. Right. So, judging from the battlefield, you have front ranks and rear ranks. From the way we've described things so far, Kenji's going to be in the front, and the dog and Rapunji are going to be in the rear rank. Okay, that's where the baddies are. Okay, the PC or monster with the highest initiative acts first, followed by the next highest, etc. 1 round is about 10 seconds. Combat actions. Okay, during combat, you perform 1 action. Actions are movement, magic, assess the situation, which lets you make a new initiative check, defend, attack. Those are your options.
Okay.
Okay, when you make an attack roll, you're rolling against the initiative of the target. So, so Kenji is going to be very difficult for them to hit.
Oh, that's why you make an assessment.
Yeah. So if you roll really,
okay.
So if you roll really badly, you can reassess and up your score. All right. So Kenji initiates combat by skirting around the pit and shaking one of the trees.
Well, no. I remember I said I was grabbing the sling instead, which is a better idea.
Yeah.
That's why I had the half cover, and with a line of sight, because I only need one hand to do the sling.
All right.
So accuracy is int and dex -2.
Yep.
Yeah, it's my sling is int dex -2, like you.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So 5 and 1 is 6. 4 is the accuracy.
Okay. So yeah, you grab a stone off the ground quick, put it in your sling, spin it rapidly, step around the tree, and fling. The stone misses its target and ricochets off the side of the tree, gouging the bark. Rapongi, what do you want to do?
Where is the nearest cover? And
Pick a
I don't
tree.
sense anything around me yet, right?
Um,
All I know is we saw the depression in the middle, and Genji stoops down, picks up a stone, and then whirls it at a tree.
yeah.
Okay.
So you haven't seen anything else yet, but you can take cover behind a tree, should you wish.
I'm going to take cover behind a tree. That seems to me the thing to do.
Okay. So your initiative will count as one higher if anyone tries to attack you.
Okay.
All right. Suddenly there's quite a lot of movement in the trees. And both of you make out small, child-sized, furry creatures with different with different coloured fur. Some have got stripes, some have got blotches. They seem to be dressed in crude clothing, and they're carrying.
What's the name of this moon?
And they're carrying like throwing sticks and crude daggers. Everyone knows about Nico goblins. They are sort of evil cat goblins. Well, they're not necessarily evil. Most of the time, they're just kind of mischievous. But these ones seem to have been driven to violence by something. Right.
Grim, Mana's in it is 6, by the way.
Okay. His initiative. All right. Well, he can't do anything while they're up the tree because he's a dog. So.
What kind of dog?
Kai Ken.
He's a good dog.
The Japanese equivalent of a German Shepherd, pretty much.
Okay. They prioritize the guy who hurled a stone at them. So a bunch of them hurl their throwing sticks at Kenji. Whose initiative is 6, I think. No, it's 10. All right, so they're going to need a crit to hit you.
How many sticks?
6 sticks. Okay.
Oh, wow.
One gets close, but not close enough. So yeah, there's a lot of movement around in the trees, and you see more of these Nika goblins sort of emerging from the branches and the leaves, and a whole bunch of these throwing sticks come scattering down near Kenji, sort of bouncing off the tree as you retreat back for cover. None of them managed to hit you, but one got close. All right, that's an end for the turn. So, new turn. Kenji.
Mana assess. And then I am going to do another thwack and hopefully a crack.
Okay.
Since do them throwing their weapons reveal their position, or do I have to assess to see others?
No, you've got an idea of where they are.
Okay. The OP last one I'm going to try to hit. 3 and 4, 7 minus 2 is 5.
Which is a hit. Roll damage.
Okay, damage is Dex or Int. Dex it is. 6. Crit.
Okay. Right. Grab another stone.
Oh, wait, no, 5. I'm sorry. 5 because it's a -1.
That's still enough. All right, and you spin it around, fling it up into the branch. There's a loud thonk noise and a feral cat scream, and one of the creatures topples from the branch and lands with a thump on the ground. Yeah. Thump. Right. Rapongi?
I cast Otome Tears on the one that's on the ground now.
What's that do?
Blurs its vision, giving him a -2 penalty to accuracy checks.
Okay. Make your magic roll.
And that's
Int plus spirit.
Yeah, I'm looking. 6. Doop, 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 doop. Is there a target? Oh, this is just don't fail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I do not fail. And I use 4. Okay. And just so you know, Kenji, this is pretty much all I can do.
You don't have a weapon?
Sure. I have a knife that I eat my dinner with when necessary. I have llamas.
And they spit.
Okay.
They are not Larry the Wonder Llama.
All right, you lash out with your magic, and presumably it has taken effect. Can you roll Mana's initiative again, please?
You told me 6, so that's going to be made up between the D6 and a D, and it's okay. I got it. I have to half the one, one, and yeah. All right, so that's 2 and 2 is 4.
Okay, so he gets less faster.
Yeah.
All right, he seems very confused.
Yep.
Huh?
Oh.
All right, the remaining Nico goblins, having thrown their throwing sticks, descend from the trees, which cats traditionally aren't terribly good at. So there's a lot of falling and scrambling, and yeah, it's a bit comedic to watch them all try and scramble down the trees.
That is why Mana's confused. Wait, you had a good position. I couldn't touch you. Now it's Tenderville.
Wow, surrender! Ah.
All right, new turn, Kenji.
Yeah, they're on the ground now, right?
Yes.
No, okay, that's a bad move. I'm going to utter the command for Mana to attack, pretty much circle around. Effectively, I want to drop the sling, grab my axe, and I'm just gonna make a big old charge.
Okay, so you are already in the front rank. They were in the rear rank, but they've moved to the front rank, so you don't have to move, so you can attack.
Hit the first one I see, or closest one I'm to. Yep.
So roll to hit with your axe.
Can I put like a little curve on that, like saying, the way I'm swinging is if they fall and tumble, they go into their own pit. Can I do that?
Yeah. So you can tap the pit and take a +1 to your accuracy.
Oh, that's just terrible because I'm rolling d10s. This is gonna. Oh, okay. Hold on. Don't get overexcited. This could go bad. All right. All right. Oh, that's right. I already wait. It's a +1 to damage. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. It's 2 and 6 is 8 + 1 is 9. -1 goes back to 8.
Okay, so you meet the charging Nico goblins and smack one of them with the blade of your axe. It makes a satisfying wet splotch noise, and he goes flung to the side, and the pit gives way under him, and he tumbles away into the bottom. So that's another one down.
Then so Mana was behind. No, Mana's at the end of the round. My bad.
Yeah. So Rapunji next.
Whichever one seems to be about to put a hurting on Kenji, I'm gonna cast Otome Tears.
Okay. Roll again and spend the magic points.
Mm-hmm. Ah, shit. We're good. And yeah, so it's a -2 on their accuracy.
Okay. So you fling out with your magic, and one of the Nico goblins that's charging towards Kenji with his dagger, his eyes suddenly fill with tears, and he stumbles about and shakes his head, trying to get them out of his eyes. Right. Then it's the Nika goblins, and then it's Mana. So they split. 2 of them move to intercept Mana, and 2 of them leap at Kenji with their claws and knives, trying to do him a mischief. But they're going to have to roll crits. First one didn't. Second
Well, one of them has negative
didn't.
2.
Yeah. So he even more needs to roll a crit.
Right.
Right. And the other 2 are attacking Mana, whose initiative is currently 4, so they have a much better chance of hitting him. So okay. He's got armor 1, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Hurting my dog is a longer death sentence. That's all I'm going to say now.
All right. Mana takes 3 hit points of damage from the Nika goblins. One of them tries to stab at him, but the blade gets caught up in his collar and doesn't actually hurt him. The other Nika goblin leaps onto his back, sort of riding him around, clawing at him.
Oh no.
Right. New turn. Kenji.
Mana. End around Mana.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Mana hasn't gone yet. Yeah. Go for it.
All right, so his accuracy is int and dex is int is what again? Okay, so it's a
He
D2.
can reach around and lick his own balls. He'll be able to grab this thing off it. No problem.
Yeah. All right. So that's 5 plus 2 is going to be 7, and then I don't think he gets anything. No, because I gave him loyalty.
Yeah, that's it.
So 7.
Damage.
Okay, cool. And then his damage is straight up dex. Got it. 6 crit.
Okay.
Again. Ragdoll.
Right. So in the scrum of the fight, he kind of circles around and runs underneath a low branch, and the goblin on his back gets smacked in the face. And in the mouth with the branch, and is left hanging there by his teeth. Okay, the Nika goblins sort of glance at each other and look like they're moving to run away.
Whoa! No! We tap it
NG.
around, tap it a wish. They wanted this. They wanted it. Oh no. Okay. 1 and 3 is 4. -1 is 3.
Okay, you swing at a retreating Nika goblin and utterly miss. All right, Ruponji.
Is there anything actively, are any of these little Nico cats coming at anybody right now?
No, they're all trying to run away, apart from the ones that have already been slain or hurt.
One's down in a hole.
One's down in a hole with an enormous gaping axe wound.
Okay.
One
is hanging from a tree by its teeth.
One is hanging from a tree by his teeth. One is flat on his back under a tree. The 3 remaining ones are
running away. 50%. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, bye.
Okay, so the remaining Nika goblins retreat to the rear rank and will escape next turn unless you pursue them. Okay. And then it's Mana's go.
All right, so Mana's going to continue on his tirade. So I got to roll that and that. All right. 1 and 3 is 4.
Okay, so he chases after them but doesn't catch up to them.
Okay.
All right. Next turn. They will escape next turn unless you pursue. Kenji?
Do I get to swing if I pursue or no? Or I just have to pursue?
You just have to pursue.
Fine, let him go.
What's down in the hole? Check the hole, Kenji.
Yeah. All right. the three of them flee into the forest, leaving their dead and injured behind.
Yep.
All right, combat is over.
Dispatching the dead, or the injured, and
What? Wait.
double tapping the dead.
Right, the
That
one who
doesn't
took a
sound
branch
very
to the
cozy
face
me.
is already dead because his neck got broke. The one down in the hole seems to be dead, judging from the huge axe wound in his side and all the blood. The one that fell out of the tree just seems to be unconscious, maybe broken arm or something.
It loses its head with a swing of an axe.
What?
Thonk.
I'm confused about this cozy concept now. To be completely
Look, if the players aren't cozy, then what can you do?
What are you talking about? If it wasn't us,
It's
then
a
it would have been
kitty!
band dance. All right,
It's
it
a
would have been
kitty!
it would have been like monks. It would have been like maybe traveling performer girls. Somebody would have gotten hurt. So we have to clean up.
Maybe it's more Princess Mononoke than anything else. That's pretty bloody. All right. So they have crude daggers, crude throwing sticks, and between them there's about 30 gold.
Cool.
Well, 30 G, whatever
Wow.
that means. And odd little knickknacks and tribal nonsense that goblin-like creatures might have.
Talismans and
Yeah.
fetishes.
Gather it all just in case there might be a bounty on these creatures in the town over that we could get paid for, getting them off the main trade road. So
Wait a minute, what do you do for a living? Because you think really differently than I do. Why would you be thinking that this is there? I mean, how do you know that there would be bounties? I've never heard of a bounty before.
you never know until you ask. And growing up on a farm, you have to kill varmints.
Okay.
So are these not varmints of the travelers?
I'm not arguing. You're an outside in the woods guy. I live in the city, get fat.
Right. You can
your interpretation is fine. I'm not disputing that part. I'm just confused about the whole thing, is all.
I might not have much of a brain, but what I do have, I do use it. Now, we need some wood. Cracks knuckles and goes to inspects a tree, not to fell the whole tree down, but just to see what I can take off to prune it. That way I don't destroy nature. I try to mimic what the monks do.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you can gather a few.
That's just so you know, that's a really specific skill set to be able to coppice. Like one of the odd skill sets I'm interested in learning.
Well, if I remember correctly, didn't the English did that to their trees for a long time?
English
they
would do it.
Where they
did the wicker for they use the willow trees, and if you go to Japan, you'll see these amazing cedar trees that have been coppiced for generations that grow the most perfect cedar poles.
I was thinking about the hazelnut, but I knew willow did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going.
It's mostly with hazel here. We get a lot of hazel and cob nuts. So there's a lot of coppicing that goes on. Woodland is really heavily managed in the UK. All right. Well, do you want to roll for your wood collection?
Strength?
Yeah, strength, I think.
All right, 12. I'm gonna use those D10s to my advantage until it's gone.
All right. So making your way through the woods, still trying to travel in a western direction. You hack a few very straight, suitable tree limbs and things down. They're not going to be usable immediately. They've got to be seasoned and everything.
Yeah.
But maybe you can sell them or something. It becomes more and more apparent that there is human activity in this little bit of forest. And before too long, you smell wood smoke.
What do you want to do, Punchy? This is after you see me like gorilla through the woods. Mine. I've been so nice and kind, but fuck this. Mine. Oh, we're killing that.
So we smell wood smoke. Are we out of the woods yet?
You're still in the woods, and they seem to continue quite far to the west.
So we're lost.
No.
Benji knows
especially with what I rolled. No, we are not lost.
Well, then, isn't there a party we're missing?
No.
It's a festival, and yeah, we got
party.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. I was trying to make up. I was trying to make up time to get there because I was told it started in a week.
Did that happen?
It hasn't happened yet. You still need to keep going.
This is day 3 of day 4 plus 3 days. Yeah. So yeah.
But tonight, this is now evening. You need to find a place to camp. But if there's wood smoke, there might be a village, which would be something more welcoming.
If there's a village, there's trade, and maybe we can trade some of the stuff we just got.
Wait, where did these things go when they left us?
They just ran away.
And where do they live when they're not ambushing people up in trees?
Nika goblins tend to live on the fringes of society or in abandoned buildings.
And do they know how to use fire?
Presumably.
Uh-huh. Well,
Kenji gets a shine in his eyes. So you want to hunt them down while he's holding the axe?
I'm just concerned that might be what we're headed toward. Would be, where are we? You know where we are. What is this possible village we're coming up to? This settlement?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go find out, but I know it's in the direction that we're heading to go to the festival. So I'm just kind of taking it as is as we go on the road. That's how I met you.
I thought you knew the woods. I thought you knew where we were.
Yeah, in comparison to the road west.
But you don't know what's in front of us.
I haven't been there. Doesn't mean I don't know where I'm going.
Do you understand that makes no sense, right?
I understand the direction where we were at. It makes perfect sense.
You have no experience. You don't actually know. So what you have is some information that leads you to believe. You have a belief that we're going in the right direction, and I'm just following along with you. Okay. Well,
Didn't you say I went along with you with your Oni summoning? You're going along with me in my little excursion to the forest, right?
Yeah, now things are dead. Look what happened. So
yeah.
I'm just trying to
things that were going to hurt us are dead. And we have more supplies than we did. And we took care of a potential threat to other travelers. This is a win-win-win. Plus, we've gathered stuff from the wood.
Oh, wait a minute. You think you're a hero, don't you?
No.
Oh, I'm on an adventure.
I'm not a hero.
Boys end up as heroes. That's how it works.
Ay. All right.
All right. Lead the way. You're the hero. Go ahead.
So, do you want to try and find the village, or do you want to just camp out in the woods?
Well, I would thought he would want to go to civilization to be comfortable. So,
I'm just saying I wasn't 100% sure it was civilization, but now you're the hero, so
I am not a hero, but we can go and find out. And if we don't like it, I can make us comfortable here, okay? Until we get back to the road.
Okay. After a short bit of exploration following the smell of wood smoke, you find a small village in a clearing. Maybe 100 people maximum live here. Looks like they're charcoal burners, woodcutters, simple forest folk.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not organized enough to have an inn or anything, but there is a small lean-to temple over a dragon statue, and there seems to be a sort of a communal big hut, basically.
I'm going to greet people as we go on by and head for the hut. You coming?
You're leading.
By the time you get to the hut, you have a small string of children following after you because they don't see outsiders too much.
Oh.
So they're very, very curious, especially about the llamas.
No.
So I lean down to them as they come up to the llamas, and I go, "That," and point. That's the hero Kenji. Just so you know, that guy. That's the hero Kenji. I don't know if you ever heard of him before, but it turns out I'm on an adventure with a hero.
You know what? I'm going to turn around in perfect anime style. Kenji Ren. That means strong lotus. And then just kind of like, when they're not looking at me, just mean mug the merchant.
Out of nowhere, there's a lens flare and a ka-ching sound as the light reflects off your axe.
Damn it. As soon as we get to the hut, I want to grab one of
I
the.
look for a Jabba.
I want to grab one of the temple beer casks and ask for the village elder.
Okay. There's quite a few villagers in the hut, sat around gossiping, sewing, things like that. And you bring out a keg of the beer, and several of the menfolk suddenly become very, very interested, and they bring over the village elder to talk to you. He's as bald as a duck egg.
I'm going to offer it to him and say, "Hey, we would like to try to find rest till we get back to the main road. We're on a journey to the festival, and if you're willing to do so, my merchant here has fine wares to sell. If you guys are interested in a bit of trade, and I'll give him one of the."
My dear friends, let me introduce the hero Kenji, who is over speaking himself a bit. He's not used to this. What we're doing is offering you this gift of beer. We just need to see the village tap, and boom, we shall all be happy. And in return, we just ask for an opportunity to rest and spend the night before we find ourselves amongst the terror of those Neko goblins again. And my negotiation is +1. That's spirit and int roll. Is there like is that just a fail or?
Well, what did you roll?
Well, no, I'm asking like, is the goal just not to fail? I rolled a 10.
Okay, so you rolled a 10. So if I look at the merchant section, so were you negotiating or trading?
I am negotiating our presence and this beer for the opportunity to rest and relax with them and spend the night in safety.
Okay, and you rolled 10. Okay, he says if you give them 2 bottles of this beer, then you're welcome to rest in the communal hut.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, because they're not. Just so you know, they weren't kegs. They were bottles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Big
So
bottles.
it's not like, yeah, that makes so just offering one bottle, even though like if you've ever been to Japan, they drink what we call 40 ounces here. They one bottle. No. That's not enough. Not for beer.
You negotiated well. All right. so you don't need to roll for resting, and you can have your full hit points and magic points back.
Nice. In conversation, I will mention that we were able to dispatch 3 of the 6 that were laying a trap.
So when you show evidence that you killed these goblins, the villagers club together and give you about 30G in very small denomination coinage.
Whoa, wow, what? How did you know that? See, Kenji the hero understands the life of a hero. And that's why I'm on an adventure now, which is pretty amazing. Not how my day started. Like 3 days ago, I was just, doing my normal, hey, it's that time to experience the world, but I didn't know I was actually going on an adventure. I thought I was just.
God damn it.
So are the elders properly awed, and the children, are they listening to the stories?
Oh, are you telling stories?
Well, I mean, I'm explaining what I'm telling them right now. This is the story of, Kenji the hero.
And you did roll pretty high. Okay,
I'm laying the foundation of here we are. The hero Kenji has come upon the scene, and now these children will be able to tell their children's children that they were here when Kenji the hero walked through.
What's other great deed?
Hero Kenji or Kenji the... Yeah, I think Hero Kenji works better than Kenji the hero.
What other great deeds have you performed?
He chopped wood like a maniac. He nearly fearlessly stood by the summoning of an Oni.
There's a gasp and a ripple of shock. An Oni? You survived?
Yeah, but don't forget, I also feed the weary travelers too, and help out every village I come along the way on my journey.
And there we
helped us with beer.
Speaking of which, may I pray at your shrine?
And he's devout.
Oh my God!
Is there I mean, how did I end up on this adventure? A humble merchant only trying to increase his girth. And lo and behold, here I am.
Yeah, at this point, I'm like beat red in the face, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to the shrine. Okay.
All right, you go outside. It's a light drizzle coming down, but the trees keep the worst of it off. You go over to the little lean-to that shelters their temple.
Yeah.
A magpie flies away as you approach and kneel on the somewhat dry stone beneath and pray. As you're praying, someone else comes to the temple. Are you going to look up from your devout prayer, or?
Yeah, and when I finish a line, yeah, I'll glance over quickly.
A big round middle-aged woman. She lights a couple of incense tapers and then kneels down next to you and starts loudly praying that she find a handsome, brave, heroic man to marry her daughter.
I offer the rest of my beer to the shrine and pour it, and then walk back to the main house.
Then flee into the woods, never to be seen again.
No. I'm not saying anything. I'm just being respectful. Oh, yeah, yes. Okay, bye. You're getting ready to turn this into a Kenichi story, man. Jeez.
Gotta build up a harem of monster girls. Well, yeah, it's a simple village, and you're obviously a woodsman, so you know they're going to empathize with you. And then Rapongi basically, essentially, almost critted his role, telling tales of your grand heroics, such as they are. Everyone's very impressed, so you know why not?
The beginning of the entire thread. This adventure leads up to somebody hooking up. I mean, again, I'm confused about the idea of a cozy adventure. I thought these were supposed to be like, for 14 to 16-year-old kids.
Well, this is only a cozy-ish game. It kind of bridges cozy and normal role playing.
Wait a minute, hold on. Out of the days we've had to spend on the road, we've spent in civilization and in comfort.
Yeah.
And in good merriment.
Oh, well, there you go. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. You have absolutely clarified that we are playing a cozy game. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to travel on?
Rapunji, what do you think?
I mean, all the kids are just staring at you, and all the elders are waiting for you to do something heroic. So, I mean,
go on, do something heroic.
And I'm gonna drag Rapunji along in the dance with me.
Okay, can Rapunji make a strength and spirit roll too, please?
Absolutely, I'm a good dancer.
I'm an excellent driver.
That's only $100.
That's a 7, Griff.
Okay,
and that was a 12.
Oh, he embarrasses you at the dance.
Oh no! I'm gonna back off and start clapping with the beat, man. A shocked look at my face. Twinkle toes Rapunji, everybody! Really? Oh my god!
A fun night of tale telling and food and drink, and dancing, and maybe some axe throwing. Hopefully, before you get some drinks in you. But yeah, so the next day comes around. The villagers are up early and attending to the various village jobs. So
that's a 12, by the way.
So it's time to decide which way to go. Do you want to stay in the forest and head west? Do you want to go southwest back towards the road, or some other way?
Well, I mean, Rapunji humbled me on my detour, so if we want to get back to the road, where he feels a bit more comfortable, I'm fine with that.
The hero Kenji has spoken.
Is that what you want to do, Rapunji? Do you want to go back to the road?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'm going to ask the elder or whoever I can for directions and if they can part ways with any supplies before we leave. Also, do they want me to bring anything? Because we are going to the festival.
We'll be heading there soon ourselves to trade wood, so perhaps we'll see you there.
Yeah.
What kind of wood do you have?
Red oak, bundles of firewood, seasoned logs for making planks for building, all sorts.
That doesn't turn you on there, hero? You
Not
a woody over all the wood?
Not until we get to the festival and we have some downtime. And I already got my woody on early in game. It was hard pressed.
All right, everyone, roll strength and spirit for your condition.
Back down to an 8.
Shit. Weird dice. 11.
7.
Now, travel check, strength plus dex, difficulty 6, because you're back out of the woods and it stopped raining.
Strength plus dex.
Strength plus. Okay.
3.
And the clouds have cleared up a bit. 3.
Damn, 7.
Okay, well, 7's a pass. 3 isn't. So Rapongi goes arse over tit again, slipping on some of the wet rocks. And
Distribute.
I lose 6 foot points again.
Lose half your hit points again. Yeah.
I distribute goods on
Every
llamas
day.
and place Rapunji on the back of a mule. He'll be on. Let's see here. You were on Momo last time, so we'll put you on the back of Appa this time.
Yeah. Got to share it out. All right. Then with one person supporting and the other giving directions, it's so int plus int, and Kenji does support usually, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Right.
I support. Yeah,
So int plus int.
I got a 6.
Okay, so Rapongi gets +1 to his int plus int to find the way.
Oh no. That was a failure. Double
Well,
one.
what's double
Oh,
one?
no.
Okay, fumble. All right, everyone gets a fumble point.
Okay.
You end up going around and around in circles and don't actually manage to emerge from the forest by the end of the day. You think you're not actually that far from the village. You'd have to travel through the night a bit to get back to the village, and it might be too embarrassing to go back there.
Well, Hero Kenji, it's your reputation at stake here, to be honest.
I don't really have a reputation aside from the one you gave me, but I'm fine to stay put, and we'll collect our heads in the morning.
All right, sounds good. Because I wouldn't want to
Okay.
embarrass you.
Use up 2 rations. And okay, so a camping check is dex plus int. You can have one person do it and the other person do support. So who has the highest dex plus int?
I have 6 and 4 for that check.
Same.
What do you got?
Same. Just
So-
other direction.
Doesn't really matter. So one of you roll for support.
I'll roll support this time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. 5.
So, I rolled 9 on support.
Okay,
should.
and that gives +1 to Kenji, which raises it to a 6, which is a success.
All right.
So your current hit points is doubled up to your max, and your magic points are fully restored. The night is quiet and undisturbed. The skies are clear, which make it a bit colder than before, but you get a fantastic light show of the stars in the sky. All right, which means
I'll do the evening prayer and be like, thank you. That's why we got lost. We're
my
supposed to
alarm bell.
smell the trees, smell the flowers. Why are you farting, Rapunji?
I can't help myself. I drank too much beer, and I'm going to set my alarm bell for the evening so we can rest peacefully.
All right. So, following day, you can try again. So, condition roll. Strength plus spirit.
Oh, 6.
Okay.
4.
It's just a roll. It's not a pass fail. So, but 4, yeah. Right. Yeah, you realize you got bruises you didn't realize you had when you wake up in the morning. All right, travel check. Strength plus dex.
Jeez.
This is where
3.
I get killed. See?
Sorry, what did
5.
you get?
I got a 3.
Okay.
I got a 5.
By sheer chance, you happen to stumble across another Nico Goblin pit trap, but an old one that's been here some time and like partially filled in, and so you didn't actually fall that far. but it was enough for you to land on top of each other and both lose half your hit points. But no real bother to climb back out again and keep going. It's just your egos are bruised. All that boasting about being heroes seems to have turned karma against you. All right, now a direction check. This can be done with support. It's int plus int, and you get a +1 this time because you're traversing the same terrain.
Yeah, we know I'm supporting.
Okay, roll for support first.
7.
Okay, so and then +1 to Raponji's int plus int roll, and plus another one, so +2 in total.
Voila. Oh, of course. Now I roll 12
Okay,
plus, I'm sorry, +2, 14.
so 14. Yeah, aha. If we just go the opposite way to every way we went last time, that will work.
If everything I've ever done is wrong, I just do the opposite. Awesome. We know where we're going now. We figured it out. Sometimes you just, practice does make perfect.
The path gets slightly better again, and you realize there is another small village on the trail which you could stay in tonight. As you're on the outskirts of this little village, you see a little family of raccoon dogs scavenging for food near the spoil heap for the village.
Oh, they're so cute.
Apart from the huge testicles, yes, they're quite cute.
Awesome.
If you haven't seen Pompoko, watch Pompoko.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they sort of chitter and squeak. Mana looks at them and then looks up at Kenji.
No, be nice.
He puts his ears down and whimpers and wags his tail slowly.
I'm confused. What does he want to do?
I don't know, but I don't think it was anything good.
I mean, it just that like the conversation went from like enormous testicles to the dog wanting to do something, and I kind of dropped the thread somewhere in between.
They do have enormous testicles. They're famous for it.
I absolutely believe you, 100%.
Yeah.
I believe Grim is alluding to ball.
Get the ball, fetch. But he is a loyal dog, so he doesn't go rampaging off after them without your say so. But seems rather upset about it.
Yeah, I chose very wisely. I'm leaving up the accommodations up to you this time.
Oh, to me?
Yeah.
So, okay, here we are. We're coming into the village.
Yeah, it's a very small village built around a... there's a special Japanese word for it, which I can't remember, but a roadside inn, basically. So
Yeah,
it's a sort of stop on the way to the other village. It's all very rustic and rough hewn, but it looks like they make their money from people making their way to the festival or traveling up and down the path to do trade.
Hot spring?
No hot spring. No.
Oh.
Is there a place to put the mules and the llamas?
Yes, there is a stables where you can leave your animals. There's a few other pack animals in there as well.
Is there a stable person that we can walk towards with our animals to have them put away before we walk into the inn?
There is a hearty looking stable boy who bows to greet you as you approach and will happily sort out your animals for you.
I bow back. Hello, welcome. So we're so glad that you're able to give us your attention. may I introduce the hero Kenji and his fine magical mules. We are on a journey. This is the first adventure of my life. I thought I was just going on a walk, but if you could please take care of our animals, as I have these lovely llamas. Don't let them spit on you. Don't turn your back. And we're going to go inside and see about spending the evening. And honestly, please take very good care of the hero Kenji's magical mules.
How are they magical?
I
They're not.
haven't figured that out yet.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The stable boy seems equal parts impressed and confused. But then you're able to go into the inn itself proper. The proprietress comes forward quickly in a sort of swooping rush and bows to you both. Welcome to our humble inn.
Well, thank you for your kind greeting. May I introduce the hero Kenji, and I am but his simple adventuring companion Roppongi, and we are looking for an opportunity to grace this inn, so that in years past you will be, or years in the future, you will be able to tell all of those who passed through when the hero Kenji was here, and it'll make you blessed by the gods in the future.
Oh, a hero. She flips open her fan and coyly smiles at you from behind it. Unfortunately, the smile causes the very thickly pasted white makeup on her face to crack and reveal just how old she actually is.
Perhaps dentition is a little less to be left, desired.
Well, a hero and his companions. Well, we are glad to see you, and we shall do our best to provide for you, as you are obviously accustomed being such grand heroes.
Is there a shrine in this wayward traveling town?
Only
Pious and
the
devout. Do not forget to let people know the hero Kenji is pious and devout.
we only have our house temple. There are other temples on the road. Should you wish to pray there, but they are days of travel from here.
Oh no, the house temple will be fine. If I may.
And a humble hero as well.
So please come, sit here at the table. So a hero's repast and
Yes,
some good
please.
drink.
Thank you so much. We will appreciate all of your hospitality.
Well, I shall endeavor to make you as welcome as possible. She scurries away and starts barking orders at the staff.
Oh no.
Go to the temple. I bet you that they will be able to tell this story for years to come. And who knows?
Well, if he leaves to go to the temple, he'll be gone a day or two, and you'll be stuck with the bill.
No, the house. What do you?
They have an altar in the house. Yes,
right. The house altar.
This is probably going to be one of those things. I forget what the movie was, but there's where they take the journey from around Spanish, French, Basque, that in-between zone between Basque country and French country, and they do that like little Catholic pilgrimage walk. Oh, what was that called? They have to do it all on foot or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a famous walk. It's like hundreds of kilometers you gotta like go. This sounds like it's turning into that. Like I'm making the pilgrimage to the festival.
Yep.
Well, when you return to the table, it is groaning with food, and Roppongi is obviously
Groaning with
waiting
his
for you to come back.
belly.
Great heaped bowls of rice, honey roasted pork. There's some smoked freshwater fish. There's hot pot, big bottles of fine drink. Would sirs perhaps care for a bath? We don't have hot springs here, but we can warm a couple of tubs worth of water for you.
No. This is too much. This is too much.
Absolutely. That is so kind and generous of you. And perhaps some entertainment. I mean,
No.
if we've only had each other for companionship, perhaps, and somebody to a little sing and dance.
Well, we don't really have any entertainers here, but I used to be a dancer. If you don't mind,
I can tell you have such grace and presence. We would be absolutely honored.
I will take a small bowl of food, eat it, and then just spend the rest of the evening at the damn shrine.
Yeah. So Rapongi takes full advantage of all the food and drink and then everything else to be offered while you stay knelt at the shrine. Eventually, the lady of the house comes to fetch you at the shrine and says, "Your friend has gone to bed. He's had quite a lot to drink. Let me show you to your room."
That 30G I was just gifted for turning in those those cat sith that's still wrapped up. I'm just gonna hand that to her and thank you for being too gracious of a host. And
thank you. Extra gratuities are always welcome. She leads you to your room. It's a fine room. Rapongi is already laid out asleep on the bed in there, and
drunkenly right. He's generous to a fault.
And Mana has been warming your bed for you. It's sort of wags
right.
as you come in. Right, you pass an incredibly comfortable and well-fed night. When the morning comes, you wake up, hear bird song outside. It's another clear day. If you make good time, you might be able to reach your destination now. And that should be just in time.
This is the eighth period. Yeah.
However, you slowly become aware that just inside the door is a little black tray with a little round scroll on it.
Yeah, that's the bill. How much is it?
You go over and you pick it up and tug on the little piece of string, binding it together with some trepidation. It flops open in an extremely neat handwriting. There's a long itemized bill, and the total price at the bottom is 294G.
Okay.
do you have 294G?
I believe the merchant does, because I do not.
Is that a heroic amount?
It's a pretty heroic amount. Yeah, that's it's almost a Conan between adventures if the culture was different. It's minus the gambling and whoring. You spent it all on food and drink.
All right. So how much was that total?
294.
All right, just a second. I'm terrible at math in my head, so.
No, I got a calculator.
I'm saying I'm pulling up a calculator right now.
Well, you're a merchant, so you obviously have an abacus.
Right. But I am, ADHD and the numbers dance around in my head. 294? Two what?
Yeah, 294.
Oh, wow. I'm amazed that I remembered that number. Yeah, sure.
All right. Well,
I mean, I'm on an adventure, man. I'm on an adventure.
Well, please do stop by again, gentlemen, on your return journey. We'll be sure and attend to your every need then as well. All of the staff come out to bow and bid you goodbye.
I bow in return.
Gozaimasu. Oh no, that's the other way. Konnichiwa.
What's Japanese for bye, suckers?
Well, just so you know, literally every time when it doesn't matter what time of day it is, when you walk into like a place of business, a particular restaurant, the entire staff says "Ohayo gozaimasu," even though it's not morning.
All right. So possibly the last journey check.
All right.
Because the adventure would have been longer with more players, because everything takes longer then. All right. Condition check. Strength plus spirit, and you can add 3 to the total from all the feasting and fine bed.
Good, because that brings me to a 6.
And 13.
Nice. All right. Then travel check to put one foot in front of the other without doing yourself harm.
Oh no.
It's another clear day. So it's only difficulty 6. Roll strength plus dex.
Oh, strength was good.
Yeah, this is again.
All right, this is a good one. 10.
Oh, lordy, I fumbled. 2.
Okay. Right.
I don't think
remember-
I've successfully not hurt myself once yet.
Yeah, but a fumble is worse than usual.
Yeah, I have. I mean, what a better way to cap off the last day of falling and hurting myself.
Yeah, so you drank way too much. And you're so hungover and have such a horrible sour stomach that you only have 1/4 of your hit points for today.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You threw the rest of your hit points up into a bush.
Vomitus.
Yeah.
So we're fashioning a small little stretcher between Momo and Appa.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Direction check. So Kenji helping.
Yeah.
So roll int plus int.
What is that? That was a number. That's a 6.
Okay. And then Roppongi at +1.
3, 3, and 1 is 7.
Okay. So despite being horribly hungover, you managed to keep the direction.
No,
straight in
that
your head.
way.
All right. And towards the evening of that day, you finally hove in towards the town of, what did I call it?
Frostvale.
Frostvale.
Yep, I wrote it down.
Which seems to be a bigger village, similar to the size of the village you started out from. So a few hundred people, plus a whole bunch of guests that have been traveling here from all over for the festival. The whole village is surrounded by these same trees that all look in bud, ready to burst into bloom at any moment. And there's a carnival atmosphere to the whole place. There are stands set up, traveling entertainers, if not the troupe that you ran into. And you're here. Your journey, at least for the time being, is at an end. And legend says the last snowfall of the year will cause all of these trees to burst into bloom, and then the festival proper will start. So that is our adventure. Let's just look up how experience would work if we were playing more. Level up, page 55. At the end of each session, at the end of each journey, each player character receives a number of experience points. Once the XP total exceeds a certain value, they will level up. Gain XP according to the highest difficulty terrain encountered during the session. So that was 9, so that'll give you 200 experience points. Gain 50 XP for each time the Ryujin, me, used a benediction ability. That's once, so 250. Gain XP equal to 10 times the level of the highest level monster defeated this session, which was the Nico Goblins. So that would be 200 XP. So 450.
It's actually 650. 200, 250, 200.
Yep. Okay. So you would go up to level 3. You would get a stat increase, the feint and search combat actions, and you would gain terrain and weather specialities and a bunch of other stuff. So max HP and MP would go up by 3 between the two. Carrying capacity goes up by 1, and then new perks and abilities depending on level. So leveling up's quite easy, really.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a very kind of simple introductory type adventure, just moving from point A to point B. We had a bit of combat, we had a bunch of other stuff. As you can see, it's mostly about the travelogue, about moving from place to place and what happens along the way. And I tried to introduce some local color and role-playing opportunities and stuff on the way. So what did we think of Ryuutama, gentlemen?
I'm actually very interested in the JRPG model. One of the multiple side projects I'm on is an ASD working group for gaming to help develop social skills for preteens and early teens with autism spectrum. And the research I'd been doing led me to believe that JRPGs, the Japanese RPGs, would be a better fit because of the formulaic nature, right? This, you get up, you do that, and every day, it's like there is, and every role kind of has a formulaic purpose. That if I were more familiar with anime, that I might perhaps understand what it means to be a magic merchant better, and that I would play into some sort of stereotype that would help.
I think you did fine.
Well, I understand, but I'm trying to understand the context of, not the context, but the foundational principles on which this kind of game is run. I mean, basically what I did is I just went, okay, I don't really know what to do here. I'm just going to be comic relief in
which
as
is
much as I can.
Always a good option. Yeah, you need to watch some of the more recent anime that fits the sort of style. Like I guess Free Ren, Delicious in Dungeon, some of those other ones.
Dude, I just watched Akira for the very first time in my life last week.
Wow. Did you like it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because see, I grew up on, post-apocalyptic and then cyberpunk sci-fi. I grew up in the Midwest. I didn't have a lot of exposure or access to anime. So it was actually really awesome in that sense. So the newer stuff, I just was never really my thing. Every once in a while I'll come across one, but I want to do this more research because I feel this is such an important medium. I mean, look, I don't even know who I'm playing with, and we laughed all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't beat that with a fucking stick.
What did you think, Dan?
So to add on what Rapungi was saying, or Edward was saying,
Edward.
this would actually totally work as a modern isekai. Like you could throw that theme slapstick on it, and I could totally see the merchant character to be like, okay, now I'm a merchant in this world. I know what I know, but how do I do these things, and why am I here? I can totally see that happen. However, minus that, just my input on it, it was simple. It was one page. When you and I were behind the scenes and talking about the character and about what we could do, just in case like nobody showed up, and you're like, hey, can you just mind me and you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, well, how about I it says I can have like an animal. Do you care if I get a dog? And you're like, yeah, let's get a dog. So we kind of threw some stuff in there. Like it didn't have a sling in there, but I was able to use a sling, right? So the modability for me, and I've been playing TTRPGs for this past Halloween was 31 years. So like the fact that we can mod something on the fly and it works still in game is awesome. The fact that it's simple and we're just throwing a couple of things together and I don't have to roll a bunch of like D10s or D6s or do these weird combos, or do I have to worry about certain actions? It's like, no, you get this. What can you do with it? You get that. What can you do with it? I haven't seen a TTRPG in a while to allow you to fully reassess your initiative roll. And that was very surprising and enchanting. Because the fact that you're breaking time,
very interesting
yeah,
mechanic. Yeah.
that was I love that. Like the closest we got. I mean, like when it was in the time we were playing third edition, it was current at the time. Like you would spend multiple rounds to do something like that because you would study the battlefield, right? Almost like you were making a death attack. So, and that was a great cost. It's like 3 rounds of time versus 10 seconds. I'm going to reassess because I'm devoting my entire attention to that. Cool.
Yeah. I've done something similar as a house rule in other games where like you could spend an action to gather yourself and get some situational awareness, and then you'd roll a dice and add it onto your initiative for the next turn. So I've done similar things, but I haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah, I've done that myself as house rules, but I also want to say I love the fact that you're kind of coming out the gate of playing the other guys, right? I always love low level stuff because it allows you as a player to come up with things on the fly to see if they work, because it's a win or nothing situation, right?
Yeah.
And then like the lower levels where everything's so crucial, you're kind of like, well, I have to come up with things creatively. So this system seems like it gives you I want to say a player's option, but it gives the enticement of what can I do here with this? It encourages that, which I really, really enjoy. And that's my spiel.
I got a question because that was very insightful one about the new mechanic, and the other mechanic that I thought when we were in combat. So the items, we choose items, and then if you touch the item, you get a bonus. So would every tree would have been a bonus if if he had run up, touched the tree, that would have given him a bonus to whack on.
So I did it slightly wrong. There should have been 5 items determined by each side. But when you use an item, you have to work it into the role play, and then it can give you a bonus or whatever else. So you could say, okay, we've got several tree items here. I'm going to hide behind one, so I am going to use that tree item. So then that gets removed. And that would, say, add +1 to your initiative for the difficulty to hit you, right? Or using the pit, as was done, would add +1 to the damage or to the accuracy of the attack. So you can tap various items as it makes sense in order to do that. Similar to how in Fate a scene might have certain sort of tag words to it. So I don't know, if you're having a kung fu fight in a burning warehouse, then you could spend a fate point and invoke the fact that the warehouse is burning to have like a bunch of the roof fall down in the way, or things like that. So various games use similar mechanics. Here it's quite limited, which I prefer in some ways to it being as open as it is in Fate. But yeah.
Well, the insight about this low level play and how it actually opens up a lot of options. Well, that's one of the things that I've always enjoyed about jumping into a system that I don't know at all, that I'm just going to try and do stuff. And it would be interesting to me, the part that pinged on this like low level play and how much freedom it is. You're very right, because by the time you've gotten to higher level play, all the prescribed things that require you to get to that level have become this worn path in the character. And there's
Yeah.
no more exploration. There's just, this is what it is. And it's like, that's what I was trying to do. So like, I'm like, okay, well-spoken, animal odor, can't really do much with that. And then you went on your, I'm a He-Man wood shopping. Brr. And I went, oh, okay, I'm the comic relief, and I'm just gonna.
The other thing, I think playing at low level kind of forces you to be cunning. It forces you to be as cautious as you should be at higher levels, but you're not. And it's more about being inventive with the limited resources that you have rather than just, oh, I cast this spell or I use this special ability. I remember playing, I can't remember what it's called now. One of the first things I played with T-shirt is this kind of quasi-oriental setting. And I was playing a sort of wandering magician / monk. I didn't have many spells, but we did find a whole bunch of scrolls, which typically in games I hardly ever use. And I kept using the scrolls in really inventive ways because I was low level and I didn't want to use my actual spell. So I think that's the thing. What you're saying about structured play for neurodivergent kids, I've had groups that have been mainly somewhat on the spectrum kids, though this was before it was diagnosed as much and so on. And definitely the structure of a game really helps such people come out of their shell because it is a structure. You have a reason to be there. You have a thing to talk about that is the game and doesn't have to be small talk and so on. And the games master's there to hold your hand and help you and set goals and things. And it does really seem to work for people. Leanna Kersner, YouTuber, former Canadian TV person, she's doing some big social events that are meant to be sort of welcoming to people who are neurodivergent in the same way, almost like big, very loose LARPs, but she's trying to organize it in a more structured way, like you're talking about, so that it's easier for people who are neurodivergent to attend Nerd Prom, basically, but have a structured, more sort of event format of things to do. I used to run big LARPs, salon LARPs for like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Wow. Again, a lot of people on the spectrum.
Yep.
But having that structure does really help. And I do think the JRPG style is probably something to look at, and Ryuutama is probably a good one to look at, as is Konosuba. There's an RPG of that. So yeah, but the Japanese games do definitely have more of that kind of structure to them.
I would like to interject. I think this was a fantastic one. Like, there's a few good ones that you and T-shirt have showcased that I really enjoyed, but like coming into this blindsided and what I can do, like as a player, I kept waiting for like maybe like a little Mushu dragon or some kind of dragon to show up and stuff like that. That's like part of me was trying really hard to get an interaction with the dragon. I know there's something weird about that damn walking stick, but as soon as I had like that little clip of, oh my god, I can get into combat. All right, let's flex. All right.
Cool. So one last thing I want to actually point out, though, because what you were pointing out about, as I was saying, the simplicity at low level. So this seems to show that the skills-based versus level-based, there's something real going on there about prescription in role-playing and freedom to explore. And I'm really interested in looking into that some more.
Yeah, there's a definite tension in game design between that, because classes and levels is easy for people, and you get that little hormonal victory boost every time you level up, which people like, but that's always at the expense of freedom. It's a defined role, niche protection. You play a certain class, then you do a certain thing in the party, but that always comes at a cost in terms of customizability, which games typically try to deal with by adding in whole bunches of optional rules, so that kind of break the walls of the class, but it's always kind of clumsy and
That's how you end up with multiple subclasses for
yeah.
5e.
But then there's a commercial drive to create games that have that sort of content because people like to buy the new classes and the new subclasses and the new spells. And yeah.
I think there's something missed there because, like, when 4th edition came out and 5th edition came out, personally, and just speaking from my experience and what I saw in playing at like small shops around the country and from East Coast to West Coast and stuff like that, it seemed to be more about video gamifying TTRPGs instead of the actual raw element of the role play itself. Like when I was introduced to, like, you know, I was introduced to AD&D and 2nd edition and stuff like that. It was all about, how does your character feel? This is not you. Eventually you'll have a graveyard full of characters and you're going to remember those things because they're personalized, right? But it's just an experience. It's a memory. So the hell with the levels. Take what you have, do what you can, explore what you can't. You know.
Yeah.
But that's I think more of a philosophy than an actual. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a style of play that games can either encourage or discourage, but it's something you can always do. With 4th edition, well, remember there was originally going to be the online 3D play space for that never happened for various reasons, and they were trying to compete with WoW and other MMORPGs at the time. It's just they kind of botched it. I sometimes wonder what would have happened if the online play space had actually been up and running and working when they did 4th edition. And I guess we're going to see what happens now with 5.5 or 6th or whatever it is when all that happens. But yeah. Anyway, it's nearly midnight here, so let's call it a night. You're welcome. Thanks
Good
for
game.
playing.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I don't know what it's going to be next time, whether T-shirt will be up to running something or what I'll run next. I will figure it out. But good night, everyone.
Later. All right.